Ethereal Network, the gaming network.
Sunday is here. This is the ECS 2019 tournament, and we're in the last day of this tournament. We have a lot of games remaining for you, and we have the best games. The last team that survived the elimination games are here for you. With that said, enough talk. Again, I'm gonna send it to the caster.
How's it going, Overwatch fans? Welcome to eSportNet's ECS 2019 finale, where we finally get to see these teams vie for that top spot in ECS. My name is JJSkywalker. I'll be your solo caster for today, and with us is currently Despicable Llamas versus Sheridan Esports. Now, last time we saw Llamas go versus Azure. They had, I gotta say, a kind of an easy time. Azure did put up a good fight, but they weren't that competition that Llamas needed. And I think seeing Sheridan yesterday, I don't think they got their game cut out for themselves. At least that's my relative opinion. They're going to be going against a team that's very good at kind of switching up their compositions, with Jeff switching between a majority of the characters from Doomfist to even Sombra, and just constant amount of switches that don't normally vie from the normal. And Llamas, I mean, what can I say? When we saw them, they had great foundational play, making textbook plays look so easy and smooth. So I'm very fascinated to see what it is they're going to be pulling out and how both of these teams are going to be doing against each other. That being said, though, Llamas is going to be on the defense. They're setting up on the high point, and it looks like Sheridan are going to be going with a normal death ball. Nothing crazy. It looks like they're going to be going for those nice close-in plays. They might have been expecting a little bit more, but they're seeing them over in that high place, and they're already starting the battle. They're looking not to take too much time. They don't want to waste too many shields. Get that Zarya a little bit higher. Sheridan's looking for something. They're kind of vying for those alternate path points in order to get closer and closer to deal out the damage they can. And there you go. Already separated. Whoop accidentally falls down, and they begin to take him out slowly but surely. And it looks like right now Llamas did lose two people as they both fell down. The Bastion coming out of surprise. That might have been a partial distraction. Two chevrons down. Sheridan looking really good right now, as it looks like phase one is going to be theirs. Now that was a little strange, I'll say. Llamas, at first, I was a little confused as to why some of their members were falling off. I am seeing a few player changes when it comes to their roster, but when the Bastion came out, it seemed like an actually really good distraction, but that was dealt with very quickly by Sheridan's not only tankiness, but ability to prioritize targets. They're going to be continuing this point, and it looks like right now Llamas are going to be switching to a partial dive composition. They're looking over the edges, seeing if they can find anybody weak, but right now Sheridan's keeping it very close. We've got a barrier going in between. It's going to be dividing Sheridan's ability to do damage, and they're taking advantage of that right there. Jeff going down immediately. It's a 5v6, and we're already seeing Sheridan throw out their ultimates to the best of their ability. Right now, Llamas a little bit separated. Even with the slight advantage, they're trying not to pick away too much at this death ball, slowly taking out their HP over time, and it seems to be working in their favor. The point is held, and they're taking people slowly but surely, not losing too many people, only losing Smithy, who is their star Genji player. Going to be going on. Skirmish is going through an Earth Shatter coming out from Fracture, but nothing seen inside. An Ana boost coming to Whoop. The damage is ensured. A charge going through Diva Bomb to separate the enemies, and that's going to push them close to that end of phase. We're seeing a really good ultimates coming out from Sheridan here. They're going to have a nice attack coming in. Graviton's going to be holding in Llamas together, and that Lucio barrier is going to keep them nice and chunky. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Llamas to go in, but they're trying to stop that point. They want to give the rest of their team a little bit of time to be able to reinforce their team, and Sheridan's not letting them have it. They're pushing away the members of Llama in order to get that point to the end, but they're not making it easy. It's a chunky dive coming at them, and they need to push in a lot of damage forward. It's not looking good for Llamas, though. Graviton put down to keep them all together. They're all going down slowly but surely, and phase 2 is Sheridan's. Now looking forward, right now, Llamas did get a good set of all charges there. That might not have been the hold that they wanted. They are doing a few switches, just holding on to the EMP. They're switching for more of a death ball, something more stronger with the Junkrat. But for Sheridan, unchanged really when it comes to their composition. They're just looking to get straight shits, changes. EMP pushed above to all of them, pushing them all to not be able to use everything that they've farmed up for. And it looks like Llamas is going to be able to hold here. All right, now Sheridan is kind of reconciling their position. It's looking great for them. All ultimates practically farmed or half farmed when it comes to Coalescence, or rather their support ultimates. For Llamas, it's looking a little difficult. They don't have much going for them. Diva ultimate's the best thing, and Earthshatter that's going to be coming in for their defense, and they got to use it aggressively or fear losing this one. Diva Bomb going into the backline. They've got to separate. Anna going down. That's not going to be good. No support coming in. No good heals. Graviton holding them all together. And that point's definitely going to the end of phase 3 for Sheridan. And they've still got a stock of ultimates go. Earthshatter and all their support ultimates practically in tow.
This will heal you. The payload is approaching.
Llamas is going together, charging in not only with the Diva Bomb, but with their Reinhardt. Shield used up, everything down. Earthshatter down for Sheridan. It gets a good amount of people. Already, Llamas losing their main chunkiness in damage. Support ultimates out for Sheridan, keeping them together, but it's looking half and half. It's almost equivalent. They're off the point. Llamas able to successfully hold. Respawn advantage is there. Sheridan needs to speed it up or get out of here, and it looks like they're already backing away from this fight. Llamas able to hold still. An entire 3 minutes left for them, though, and it does look like this is going to be coming in their favor. This is exactly what they needed. A majority of that was mechanical play. They're going to be gaining a little bit of ultimates. That'll give them enough time to just empower their defenses and keep this going. Trying to see when it comes right now. Only Graviton going right now from Sheridan, used immediately, holding them all together. Anna heals, going straight through, making sure to keep everyone alive. Diva Bomb coming in a little bit late, but able to get not Jeff in the back. That's one less support for Sheridan to have to deal with. Earthshatter to put the rally on the ground. Damage still going through. Diva Bomb in the background, but all the way in the corner where it's not going to hit him on Sheridan. Up and up on those kills. Llama's not looking good right now, but those respawns might be coming in. Hammond holding that point successfully. It's difficult to hit him. He's already got that roundabout going out, and mines on the ground in a perfect position. They have to hit those mines to get through. An Anna boosted Diva in the front line. Too much HP. He isn't going down. Not even halfway through. He's out of his mech finally, but the Llamas are coming back out, getting ready to go through. Right now, Rally keeping Sheridan nice and armored up. Earthshatter coming in from Fracture to get these Llamas out of here to the best of the ability. Graviton to ensure it. Phase 3 done for Sheridan. Getting a full map playthrough, and I think somewhere around a minute and 30 in time back.
Score
We shall see.
0-3. Switching sides.
Yes, perfect. Minute 38.
Initiating match.
Now, honestly, it's interesting. I expected out of I suppose Sheridan. They have really aggressive attacks. They change it up. They keep it consistent. They almost didn't change anything. They just moved, made sure their ult economy was good, made sure they didn't waste too much, so their attacks were really consistent, and we saw that going through. Now, what I want to see out of Llamas is basically what I saw against the Jur. Just nice, consistent, by-the-book plays, and I want to see how that pits against Sheridan's sometimes very strong defense.
Ready for battle.
I need healing.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Teams divvying up right now, and we're seeing kind of like a normal defense coming out of Sheridan. The nice Orisa, the shield, so that it's nice, movable, nothing that can be easily destroyed, not too long recharges, just basing it off that cooldown. We're seeing a Junkrat, but also that Bastion coming out in Jeff. And we've seen Jeff on Bastion when it came to Hollywood. He's not a very standstill Bastion. He knows his relative positioning. He gets out of the way and he finds the good positions he needs as a Bastion to deal the majority of damage. So maybe that'll work in their favor. As for Llamas, a nice death ball coming in for him. Very similar to Sheridan's, but with a Zenyatta. They're pushing up, not seeing any enemies, and they're seeing the same thing that they defended with. And it seems they're probably attacking the same way, defending the team, except going for that lower archway. Nice, longer way. They see that Junkrat. They don't want to take as much damage as Llamas did. They're getting into that underside nice and quick, not wasting any form of time, and neither is Sheridan. They're pushing off, already setting up that Bastion pretty far away so that it's not tackled, given enough space to do the damage he needs. That shield's down. The charge went through for Llamas, but it wasn't enough. 2 tanks already down for Llamas, and it's not looking great. Jeff still partially damaged. He had to get out of turret form, but it does look like Sheridan's going to be taking this fight. Now, when it came down to it, even Llamas did do a good amount of damage. We're seeing that Zenyatta's already got his ultimate. That's definitely going to work in their favor. Going into this next bit, it's going to be able to go against that majority Bastion damage. But for Sheridan, they've already got stuff hit up. They've got their tank form. We've seen what they do in Hollywood. They're going to be aggressed upon. The moment that Llamas gets close, I have no doubt that that Bastion's going to go into tank form, and they're going to let Llamas have it. As they're moving forward, they're dishing out as much damage as they can. They don't want that shield to be a progressing issue. Same plays they did before, and sure enough, the moment Llamas go into that under area, tank is pulled out immediately. Zenyatta ult used in retaliation to keep the team alive. It's not an easy place to be in there. Damage going straight through basically hits the entire team. Sidelines are not great for them, but it is great for Sheridan. It's one corridor of death with Bastion constantly shooting even though nobody is there. Sheridan is gaining amazing ultimates right now, but Llamas need to do something. They're going in immediately in tow with Zarya barrier, but that did nothing. He shot immediately through. Diva bomb in the sky, killing not Jeff. Almost overkill at this point, and Llama's attack goes down. Now this is gonna be something that, if I remember correctly, Azure might have broken through only into phase 2, and it was out of a good play of ultimates. Llamas needs to figure out what combinations they need to do to gain a solutions past this defense. That fight was too long. They were able to get their ultimates back in tow. No doubt they're going to be running the same strategy they did currently, except this time there's going to be a Junkrat ultimate coming in initially. They see them in the corridor. It's a hard place to be. Wow, fascinating. Llamas opting just for the initial kill, not letting any time pass. That's not a bad strategy, honestly. That Junkrat ultimate's going to put them at a disadvantage, make them lose key members of the team that's going to allow them to push forward. They need everyone in order to pass through this defense. Ooh, and honestly, an even better idea, because Bastion did use his ultimate there as well, probably thinking that he needed to use it. So only 2 ultimates left right now. For Sheridan, they've got that damage boost from Marissa, the Valkyrie from Mercy, which is going to give them a lot of stuff, but that Graviton might change everything unless Avatar goes down at the beginning. They're still going in, though. They still have a chance. They've only got 30 seconds. This is practically their mass match. They can't waste more time, and this area is really killing them. They put Graviton, nobody there. Diva Bomb in the background, holding them right on the point. They were able to get to the back, though. Letting them down. That's a huge DPS out. This might be it for Llamas in order to be able to push forward. There's less damage going out here, except for that Orisa ultimate that's giving everyone up. Savitar able to join back. That was a good respawn, I suppose, dilation going in for them. Their full team is here, ditching out damage, and this feels good for them, honestly. Oh, Diva Bomb, though, going into the sky. They need to seek shelter. Double shields on that point to keep it keep them nice and healthy, pushing off people as best as they can. Sheridan not letting this go. They're possibly looking to reinforce this, but already the second Chevron's going to be coming in. Jeff pulling out his doofus, looking for any kills that he can get, and he's able to get not Jeff immediately, but Savitar able to get Jeff. Is that no? Yes, not Jeff. Perfect. That surprised me for a second, realizing Jeff and not Jeff in the main matchup with Llamas. Able to get the point, continuing themselves, adding 3 minutes to their time bank. It's going to be a funny one, dividing between not only Jeff and not Jeff, but nonetheless, Llamas holding on to their composition. They want to be strong on that point, but Sheridan changing it up. They want something much more mobile. They want to abuse the verticality of this map to just get in between and do a lot of strike tactics in between. They're able to take out the healer for Llamas. They're going to have a harsh time. Diva Bomb hit towards the top by Llamas, and it's not looking good for them. They've had to back away. Majority of their members, but they are moving it to the quarter point of the map. Sheridan not prioritizing anything really, just backing away, doing as much impact damage as they can, letting the Hammond do as Hammond does, and that point is still moving up though. They've got distance, they've lost people, but they have to be careful here. Right now, Sheridan is getting a good amount of their ultimates going through. That fair barrage is coming in, and no doubt is going to be used for some form of sneak tactic. Against them though, they're holding up with a good amount of defensive ultimates. We're seeing Lucio Barrett, we're seeing Ana boost, huge things in tow. That Graviton's going to be a difficult thing to aggress with, I think. But if they're able to use it, that's a good push for them.
60 seconds remaining.
Get over here. Get in there, Bob.
We're seeing them use that under area. Very smart. They know that they're holding that high. Graviton actually holds Fair Barrage going through, but not able to find anyone. Llamas able to actually use that Graviton to its maximum potential, getting on the inside. It was a little bit late for Sheridan to kind of move away. They still got ultimates to hold on though. They didn't waste much. Only Valkyrie to keep their Mercy alive, keep their tanks healthy, to just get that point to stop, but it's not stopping. Shields to stop the Diva Bombs, and Hammond in that background just trying his best to do hit and run, waiting for the rest of the team. Farah constantly barraging. There's no hit scan against them except for Diva, so not that much damage. Damage is going to be coming this way. One tank down for Llamas as their Diva is out of mech. Mines on the point. 4 seconds left. This is not where Llamas wants to be. Their team is separated between a minefield. They've been knocked partially into that minefield. Kills are looking good for them though, but they weren't on the point.
Victory.
Wow. A same issue I think that went against them. They were so concentrating and doing damage. They lost one of their members. They lost, I believe, their Zarya on the point and weren't able to stay on it. Map goes to Sheridan. Yeah, great stuff from Jeff here. I said before, I mean, he just gets a good positions out. So right now, the teams are going to be consiling. The loser is going to be picking which map to go forward. And right now, we're going to be going on a 5-minute break. Go, get your drinks. Trust me, the next matches, no doubt, are going to be great. Stay tuned, and we'll see you all after this. Welcome back, everyone, and we're back with the ECS 2019 finals with the Llamas versus Sheridan. Now, Sheridan got the up and up. They got that first map, but no doubt Llamas have been planning certain things. We saw currency switches. We saw Jack replacing Descent. Not much of a change. Actually, a little bit of a surprise. I saw Sheridan doing, well, I mean, and you guys saw as well, doing them pretty well. So I suppose the switches might be just whatever they need. You know, sometimes the players got to do their own thing. But either way, Llamas right now need to find a solution. They need to bring out those plays that they had before to bring them against Sheridan. Though, mind you, they're finally going against a team that is worth their salt, that is good against them. So no doubt that I've definitely seen it before. This might have been a warm-up match for them. But either way, out of Llamas, we're seeing a pretty standard kind of dive comp with an Ana. And over Sheridan, we're seeing a death ball, a huge death ball with a Reaper in tow. They're going to be going into that back glass area, not letting themselves go out in the open. They don't want to waste that shield too much. Again, keeping it nice and close together. They're going to be contesting that point pretty early on, using that under area. But that shield's going to be taking massive damage. A harsh place, a beautiful grenade placed in the background by Llamas, and a lot of electricity going into the back. No heals coming in for them as they're just getting electrocuted. Massacred in there, honestly, and it's not looking like Sheridan's going to be getting this point. No, actually, they're going to be holding it for quite a while, but this is going to be difficult for them. Llamas is farming them to the best of their ability. The longer they do this, the more time that percentage is going to go up, already hitting close to that 20%. Now, as I said, Llamas, that was good for them. Even though Sheridan was the ones that were stuck inside, the fact that the fight was slightly elongated means that they're going to have bigger ult percentage going in there. Either way, Sheridan didn't put that to waste. They also have good ult percentage coming through, and they're looking to take the fight right on Statue. Immediately, Llamas pulling out with Smithy's Genji Blade, and normally we see Smithy get a huge amount of kills already. At the end of his Genji Blade, he's able to get Fracture, but it looks like this is turned around. Sheridan abusing that Graviton, letting that dive come in on them, be used as a trap, essentially. And it looks like they're going to be dominating this point for now. Llama's able to get 53% on that point. Now, Sheridan are holding up. It's a death ball. Your power is all in the team around you. So they want that power to be in literally the only way, or practically the only way Llamas can go through. Llamas starting up with their Hammond, pushing in their dive over that ice wall, but only half their team is there. They've lost their tanks. Fracture able to get out his ultimate. The moment that ice wall goes down, a surprise for Llama as their dive begins to fall. And I do believe right now, Not Jeff is in the background, able to get halfway through, not that much. Again, a pretty big surprise for Sheridan. They had to move a bit of their team back a little bit earlier, would have probably been an even bigger surprise, but either way, they're pushing on, and they are equalizing that percentage with Llamas.
Enemy contact.
As for Sheridan, they finally got that equivalency there. That fight went great for them. We're seeing changes coming out from Llamas. They're looking for an equivalent death ball, but much more of a shield breaker going in on them, but they've got ults going in for them. That ice wall, not perfect. They got broken immediately. Diva Bomb coming in through that just slight opening, eliminating at least Haviton Graviton, combined with Reaper Beyblade, I guess you could say, dominating Llamas. Llamas only wasting, I believe, Diva Bomb there. So that might partially go good for them, since there were just switches there. They want mechanical play. They want to go in dry so they can get those ultimates going. They don't have Graviton to combine with the Dragon, but the Dragon can definitely pierce through that unmoving defense. This has to be their last fight. They're hitting the 87% mark. 15 seconds practically left for them. Lucio barrier to keep half the team alive at the top of that ice wall. But it's ice. Complete freeze in there. Anybody who moves in there is completely dead. And sure enough, Sheridan picks them off quickly. 2 seconds left. And Sheridan is able to get the first phase.
Score 0-1. Ready for battle.
I suppose that's the difficulty here, especially on Koth. You see those switches coming out, and you sacrifice a lot when it comes to that percentage, but sometimes that's the change you need. I could see that dragon being useful, but I will say that the dragon so late in is a little difficult, especially against those shields. Maybe a bigger shield breaker would have helped for them, but that was that map, and this is now. They're going to be moving forward, different compositions. Llamas looking to abuse that death ball, possibly siege it, as we've seen some people do on this map. And as for Sheridan, they're looking at practically the same, but Jack on Bastion. Now with Jack on Bastion, that's going to just completely wreck the shield. You're seeing huge amount of not only stun coming from Llamas, but as well as shield breaking. As for Sheridan, unbelievable shield breaking, taking out Smithy immediately in the back end. He was able to ice wall, surprising, ice walling, but still dying. That Bastion's on the point, being Zarya'd, but they're being taken out. Good heals coming in from the background, but with a complete surprise as Sheridan kind of diverted their attack. Their tanks to the back, their DPS to the front, surprising Llamas losing their supports and dominating that point.
I am on fire.
You should be at peak
Thanks for the
performance
assist.
levels.
Group up. Strong as the
Now, as for Sheridan, they've got two-pronged attacks. They've got, a nice, strong DPS on the ground. They've got a defense, and then they've got that elongated damage from Pharah. It's going to be difficult for Llamas to kind of push into, considering they don't really have much hit scan. They don't have anything to really tackle that strong Skye, but it looks like rather than even try dealing with it, they want to get on top of them and use that point as a distraction. Wow, fascinating. They were able to ice wall all of Sheridan out of the point, capture that point, stop that percentage from going, and they've got the composition to do it. May on the point, holding an ice wall to keep her going. Sheridan probably not too happy with that, losing an entire somewhere around 14%. They've got the point back for them, but that's 14% they don't have. They would have been at 50. They would have left, like I'd say, the 2 matches left, but they need to bide their time now. They did not use any ultimates there. That's good for them. Their defense is going to be strong. As for Llamas, it's not looking too good. They need to generate something in order to make these attacks stronger. That plan is no doubt not going to work again. Or maybe it could, because if anybody walks past that point, the ice wall just could completely destroy them. They'll be out of the way. Fair Barrage dominating everything inside. A surprise from the backline. Again, they're not looking at the sky. They're concentrating on all those chunky targets on the ground. They were able to cap the point, but the point goes back to them. Now, Earthshatter is coming up. We're seeing Lucio Berry going in as well. Graviton is there, so they're going to have a difficult time. If they're going to be keeping as close of a death ball, they're all going to be walking in. We're only seeing half the team right here. Or rather, the full team going into it. Tank trying to go through, but the ice wall is holding majority of it. Graviton to come in right after. Earthshatter to try to stop anyone, but not seeking any targets. But right now, Sheridan not seeing any form of, or rather, getting 2 kills on their screen. May holding them back from the point, but again, they're losing percentage. A fascinating strategy coming from Llamas to just concentrate on the point. Keep that point switching in between, though. Coming up in the next fight, this is practically their last fight. 10 seconds left. They got to dedicate it to just getting straight on the point, or they'll lose this round and the map. And we're seeing that actually as one of the members of Llamas literally got to the background using Junkrat Tire immediately to destroy anybody that retaliates against him. He's taken out Earthshatter, used by Fracture to stop anybody walking in, but they're contesting that point, keeping the overtime going. Sheridan looking great. Nobody contesting that overtime. Sheridan gets map 2. So interesting, just the randomness coming out from Llamas. It kept them in that game. They would have lost this entire map if they hadn't kept recontesting that point, but they needed just a little bit more, something a little bit more chunky or something to destroy Sheridan, but they couldn't find it. And Sheridan just keeping their plays consistent, keeping themselves not only concise but separated as well, just to keep Llamas in guess. So we're going to be seeing what next map Llamas is going to be choosing to see what they can get the up and up on Sheridan. That's going to be after this 1-minute break. How's it going, everyone, and welcome back. We're moving on to Numbani to see if Llamas can hold on to this game. It's a best of 5. Sheridan, 2 maps in, so this is match point for them. 1 more map for them, and they get to, I suppose, get that up and up on Llamas, getting that win in ECS 2019. But Llamas still has a chance. If they can push their strategy, if they can find some form of solution, they could move forward. Now, we did see a switch. We saw Xiao getting switched for Aesthetic Owl. So maybe that's the switch they need. We're seeing Aesthetic Owl going on that McCree while the rest of the team's running a dive. Maybe they're looking for that accuracy. They were running into problems against that Pharah. Maybe they want it dealt with significantly rather than pushing it off to the side, rather than pushing it to plays to see what they can do. They're going to be starting up the defense. They got someone very much in the front line, but possibly as just general memes. And that's for Sheridan. It looks like they're doing not only a partial dive, but as well as holding up a Reaper and a Ashe in the background. Fascinating. It might be something more towards making sure nobody contests the point too harshly. Jeff being able to do that huge range damage. We saw him do huge amount of work when he used Bob, so that might work in their favor. They're using that initial long range damage from Ashe and Pharah to just retaliate against that dive. The Llamas trying to peek to the best of their ability. They see that Discord moving about. They don't want to add on to it. Sheridan looking for that high verticality, looking to deal as much damage as they can. Fracture getting as much damage as possible, jumping to the safety of his healers and just moving in and out. Sheridan doing very well just to do kind of hit and run tactics. They're looking for that high area, and at the immediate that they go into the high area, Jack heads to the low, using his shotguns to just deal as much damage again, and there you go. A team kill gong for them as they're able to just slowly decimate Llamas.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Llamas sticking to the same plan they had before. Normal dive, sticking to that McCree, seeing what they can do. There's not much of a dive going in on them. The stun isn't working very well for that McCree, but maybe that long range damage is. They're looking to peek that corner to the best of their ability, but they're moving back. They lose him immediately to the combination of Pharah, wins the damage. Bob going to that backline. Right now, they're trying to back away to the best of their ability, shielding as much damage they can from that Bob, but they need to give up a significant amount of space to Sheridan. Sheridan looking great here, to be honest. They've got their Pharah barrage. They've got their Monkey going straight through. Monkey's going to be able to push people off the point. Pharah's going to be kill people off the point. They do have Transcendence, though, but they're working against a lot of... Fracture playing it in the front line. Even with Discord on himself, he wants to get them away from each other. He's able to do enough damage with the electrical gun using Monkey Ultimate in order to actually kill him. That's a huge stagger for them as Sheridan's able to finish phase.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
They're getting a nice snowball here, and that's the big thing about Numbani. You always want to play forward. You always want to take your advantages where you can get them. If you make sure those staggers just keep going, because the enemy team isn't going to be able to do enough. They have a strong backline, but they've also got a very smart Monkey in the front line, as well as a Pharah backing him up, so it's difficult for Llamas to go inside with. They're using that corner. They want to push in, but they lose Savitar a little too early. They're able to take out equal amount of tanks. But Sheridan just on that point, keeping a strong, just long range damage. They got a Reaper to deal with anybody that close, and everyone else to just snipe at them from far away. It's not easy. They're using sightline, keep themselves alive, but this is not looking good. Half of phase 3 already done. Smith going through with his Genji play. Not seeing anything as Transcendence does come through. He's not going to be able to get any kills. That Nano Boost is on. He sees a few people on the outside, but Sheridan's able to reduce the rest of his team to Ashe it, essentially. Putting in a Diva Bomb, not able to get on point. Sheridan finishes with a huge time bank.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Wow. 4 minutes, 43 seconds.
Initiating match.
So coming up, Llamas have to do some form of attack. We've seen their attack on King's Row. Very nice. They love to abuse just not only the power of dive and hit and run tactics, but as well as Hammond. But looking at it now, I see that Llamas like to do a nice, concise attack moving forward. They see the opportunities and they run with it, but sometimes they lose too many people. As for Sheridan, they like to pick and choose. Their attacks are clearly called since the majority of their team seems to move together. Where the monkey goes, the Reaper is going in an opposite direction at the exact same time. So their attacks might be separated, but it's coordinated. So if Llamas is able to do something similar, they could see traction.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I can't wait to get into the fight.
As for Sheridan, we're seeing the partial death ball keeping Jeff on that Ashe. The Bob is huge. It's basically a 7th person, as my co-caster Rapture said yesterday. They're enjoying just the fruits of a Torbjorn, not allowing any form of air to not be abused if it comes within that turret's range. A little bit of damage coming in from the dynamite in the background. Llamas looking to do a dive with an Ana. That might be a little bit difficult. I do enjoy the Ana, but if Llamas is able to keep their tanks alive, they can bear the fruits of being able to heal themselves pretty well. They see that Ashe move forward, they try to take advantage of it, but they go around the corner, losing a good amount of HP, but they're able to see damage, taking out Lethal Doran off the side with their Pharah. They've got the advantage. They're getting their HP back, waiting to go around the corner. They see that turn. They want to take it out immediately. Torbjorn next, after Jeff, able to get not Jeff, and it looks like the kills are kind of going on their side. DPS down, only tanks left on the point. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but they do have an Ana backing them up with that tank, so we could see it, but they see that Ana. That Ana is held down, taken out immediately, and it's looking great for Llamas. They've got 4 people on the point, though. Reinforcements could be coming in for both teams. They need to clean this up to the best of their ability. That Diva getting her meg back, just keeping that point held. This is giving Sheridan a lot of time to come back into it. I would dare say that they could. It's all up to them, though. We're seeing the Pharah barrage maybe get whiffed at the beginning. Bob comes in from the back, able to hold that point perfectly. Jeff able to keep himself alive. Sheridan again back on this point. Wow. Oh man, that is not something you want to whiff. Diva on the point, Aesthetic Cowl getting a kill on Torbjorn. They're not giving this up. They don't on this loop. They can't give this up. To keep just that equivalent time back to the best of ability. Jeff, nano boosted, dealing dumb amounts of damage. We're already seeing ults coming out here in the first point. Sheridan able to hold, and the second Chevron has not been locked in. Fascinating. Yes, I'm assuming that from Owl it was just an accidental Pharah barrage. Hopefully, no, horrible. Especially considering this is tournament play. You don't want to be wasting those types of ultimates. They put a lot in those attacks. We're seeing Genji coming up. We're seeing Valkyrie coming up. They're probably going to use them in these next attacks, but it's going to be hard. So does Sheridan, already, having a majority of their ultimates up. Torbjorn turn, shooting that backline, not Jeff, getting a little bit low. Any form of damage coming this way is going to take them out. They've already got 1 tank down. Lots of defensive ultimates. Smithy looking to take out that Ana. It's taking him a little bit of time. Able to take it out, but the rest of his team is already gone. Llamas held again. 1 minute left, or 1 minute and 50 seconds left, and I'd say they've got 2 more attacks going in on here, and they've wasted a lot of ultimates. This is a little difficult for them, but if anybody can pull it off, they can. We've seen their mechanical play. Though they do have to go into not only Transcendence, but as well as Torbjorn Ultimate, Lava, keeping them from even standing anywhere. Eva Bomb retaliating against them, pushing that time backer. They don't want this match to last long, as they have. Hit and run tactics are going to work as hard, and they do see damage. Jeff down, DPS down. The majority of the team goes in there, but again, that Lava just to hold up that entire inside. They set a Kawa shooting inside from his long range with Pharah to get that Torbjorn. 0 DPS, I believe, in that backline. 2 tanks. 2 supports for Sheridan. It's possible. We've seen less used to use a lot, but nobody looking at that Pharah barrage just dips into Skilljack, actually taking him out. This is looking hard for Llamas. These fights are taking long. They're getting kills one by one, but then they're getting killed in retaliation, in equivalence. 2 Diva ultimates going against each other, and both of Llamas taken out. Monkey on point, holding to the best of its ability. We're seeing a Pharah duo here. That could be enough. That might be all they need. Valkyrie used in tow to keep not only the team alive, but as well as keep that Pharah alive. But Pharah goes down, practically almost no damage. Smithy needs to look for something. His ultimate so close in tow, but he goes down. Overtime just keeps getting hit. All that's left is not Jeff. He tries to get on the point, keeping that going. Whoop, getting on point with that Ana Barrage, but he gets pushed off. Sheridan getting a 3-0 and winning their set of games. Congratulations.
Play of the game.
Yeah, naturally, Jeff able to get the shutdown. We saw that his accuracy was good. His gameplay was very different. He was able to position those ultimates very great. That great Bastion play. That great, just if I gotta be honest, meme play. Where his best characters so far I've seen is Ashe, Doomfist, and Bastion. So it's great to see. Honestly, I love seeing those types of characters used in good play. Being said, though, that's going to end for Sheridan and Llama. Sheridan able to get the set of games going. That's going to be it for now. The next match is going to be at 5:30 p.m. PST. I believe that is 7:30 CST, 8:30 EST. For those of you of other time zones, please definitely join us. No doubt these matches are going to get ramped up. We've seen even better teams, and no doubt we're going to see better clashes going into those higher SRs. So don't miss it. See us there, and I'll see you guys at those times. See you later. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the ECS 2019 Finals. I'm your caster, JJSkywalker, and today, or right now, for this second to last match, we're going to be joining up the Weird Squad versus Dignity. Now, for this match, we're going to be going into King's Row, and for the Weird Squad, we have seen them play. We've seen their general kind of style, and it's very incumbent of, I guess, what the current meta is. Goats. And it was something me and Rapture was pretty surprised about because the team they were against was Sinai Village, who also loved to run goats. So it was basically meta against meta, which is very normal in the higher tier of esport play. But when we look at Dignity, sadly we didn't get to watch them yesterday. Their match was a forfeit, so we get to see what it is they're going to be pulling out against this team that runs very much with normal tournament meta.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
All right, now when we look at Dignity, they're going to be running kind of like a composition, looking at that Widowmaker, seeing if they can get any picks, and actually moving up with it right now. As for the Weird Squad, they're going to be running, again, another GOATS comp for the majority, as they like to normally run that. And I'm actually running into connection issues right now, so I'm just going to leave it to the camera. Okay, I'm getting little bits and pieces here, but Dignity is pushing up rather well, doing relative against that normal kind of GOATS composition. It looks like they were able to relatively wipe the Weird Squad and so far get ahead on that Chevron point. Reinforcements don't look like they're roughly coming. They've got a nice head start, and phase 1 is probably going to be theirs. Again, I'm cutting in and off here, very strange, but the gameplay is pretty straight.
Stop the payload.
Justice reigns from above. I might need this later. Miss me? See you later.
Get behind me. Ready for battle.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
Move back.
Ready for duty.
Okay, I'm finally getting kind of back into it, but the game has kind of normalized. Right now, the Weird Squad is holding up very close to that beginning of Phase 2. They have a nice forward area coming in here. Ults are definitely on Dignity's side. They've got a nice attack going in there right now. EMP shot up, and all of Dignity. They're able to get a good push across, and the Weird Squad is able to get a ton of kills through. Again, apologies, I don't know why, it's really weird pushing straight through, but a nice defense coming out from the Weird Squad. Now for the Weird Squad, it's good for them. They didn't waste that much on their defense. They've got a lot coming up for them. Not only Transcendence, but as well as Earthshatter. All they got to do is delete that shield just a little bit to take full advantage of it. And sure enough, the moment that shield gets to the halfway point, they're pushing straight aggression. The Dignity, in general, just pushing to the back. They saw immediately the moment their Reinhardt got stung, Transcendence. They'll go against it to make sure that he doesn't die, and they're pushing up along against it. They've got a nice hold. 3 minutes still on the clock. It's a good amount of time for Dignity to go through, but they got to be careful here. That was a pretty huge wipe, and therefore the Weird Squad is going to get good generation on their ultimate. Their defenses are going to get back to full. They need to get their aggression going. Dignity looking for something. Their generation is almost there. We're seeing stuff at 70%. Not only Rally, but Graviton that Zarya's trying to pick at any form of damage he can in order to generate something. But already the Weird Squad's got the air shutter. We can see it. The aggression's getting closer. They're looking for the sun. They're looking for something. Rally coming for Dignity to keep their team chunky, and they were able to take out an animal. That's a huge hit. Graviton to retaliate, but Transcendence on top of it. Earthshatter to from the Weird Squad. Nothing seen through, but right now Dignity pushing a straight aggression. Actually, it was Earthshatter from Dignity, but either way, they finally get a hold of the point, and no doubt they're going to push somewhere to 3/4 of it in order to see whether Weird Squad is able to retaliate. They got a chunky arsenal though for ultimates and that Lucio barrier coming up, so it's going to be a harsh fight. Graviton, before they can even get to the point still pushing. Diva Bomb behind it, taking out half of the Weird Squad. They're only at 50% efficiency, and Dignity at full force. They're making sure nobody's on that point, and it looks like they got phase 2.
Has reached the checkpoint.
Good stuff out of Dignity. I would have loved to see their match if they were able to go through it. It might have been a good one to see. They're putting up a good fight going into this Grisham. The Weird Squad able to bring up that defense. EMP against Dignity, but Weird Squad's a little bit behind. Earthshatter able to get just the edges of them. Earthshatter against them, but the shield was up. Nothing in retaliation, and Weird Squad's pushing all the way to that spawn. They want all that ult generation that they can get to just re-get their defenses. Dignity, they're looking at their support ultimates. They've got them, but they might need a little bit more. Support ultimates will keep them chunky, but they're going to need to power through. Their team's a little bit halfway through. Rally popped in retaliation by the Weird Squad. They're kind of pinning them to a corner. They're looking for something. Both of them need to generate something, a combo or anything, or see if they can get a kill. And it looks like Dignity's able to pick up something, but the Weird Squad putting Graviton on the point. They don't get anything though, and they're being pushed back. The Reinhardt gets pushed off the point. That's their main defense. That's what Dignity's looking for, and they're pushing on it. Even though Reinhardt's got Discord, he's going to put everything on that shield to its maximum. Charges in, gets knocked down, but he's got Earthshatter. All of Weird Squad push back 50 or to the halfway point of phase 3, and it's gonna get there. Dignity, huge amount of ultimates. This is gonna be nasty. Either way, the Weird Squad do have Transcendence. That's gonna be a big one. They need to be careful here for Dignity. They can't waste everything in one go, or they could waste everything. EMP going retaliation right after in Earthshatter, putting them down. Transcendence on point on the Graviton. Diva Bomb to go after. Transcendence not going to bother that, but the shield is the Weird Squad is looking good. And as I said, Dignity put everything into that attack. The Weird Squad able to hold against all of it. Dignity need these next 2 pushes to be worth something. They can't dedicate to a long siege, or maybe they can. Both of them are practically in the same position. They might know that, so they might take that to their advantage.
Online.
Each of them picking at their defenses. Dignity's Reinhardt very much forward, but he's backing away. Both of them picking at each other, seeing what they can do. Discord's inserting areas. Zarya's trying to get as much charge as he can, breaking that barrier to the best of their ability. It's just a siege at here, folks. 30-second mark. This is possibly the last fight. This fight's gone for too long. Ultimate's generated. Lucio barrier down. Rally for Dignity. Everything's chunking up from here. Dignity have them in a corner, but Transcendence keeps them alive. Earthshatter for both sides. Able to see partial efficiency from either side. Transcendence for Dignity pop, keeping them alive. This is ridiculous. Weird Squad putting Graviton down, keeping Dignity's tanks in the corner, finally taking them down. Weird Squad able to get 2 kills. As for Dignity, 1 Lucio barrier for Dignity, allowing them to stay on that point a lot longer. It's not good for Dignity. Respawn advantage goes to the Weird Squad. They're gonna be able to, oh, the point is so close to pushing forward. The Weird Squad have their respawns. Diva is below the map right now. Overtime is going to the end, and they're not able to finish it.
Complete. Score 0-2. Switching sides.
Now, I suppose here's the fear here. Dignity had a good run. They were pushing it all the way to the 3rd point, but if the Weird Squad can even put a better front forward, they could look at an already easy Kings. We've yet to see Dignity's defense, though, so we can't speak so early. We'll have to see. Point 1 isn't the easiest thing to hold, but sometimes teams structure it that way, so we'll have to.
Ready for battle.
We all have our jobs to do.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And for Dignity, they're looking at that normal go. It's almost exactly the same thing that the Weird Squad was running. Nothing too different. As for the Weird Squad, though, they're looking at not only that sniper, and if I remember correctly, I did think they ran... Might be thinking of a different team, but they did run the Widowmaker. No, that was definitely a different team. Either way, the Widowmaker does good here, considering that a majority of the enemy team doesn't have long sidelines.
Let's get this party started.
Already got a Widow. They've already got a Sombra in their backline. I mean, the Weird Squad is pushing up slowly but surely. Pushing up their percentages. You hear that Sombra already trying to get hacks in the background. Bananimo goes down, main tank down, and Dignity takes advantage of that, doing their aggression, pushing in straight up, using the shield to their advantage, gaining as much as they can from the attack, not letting this retreat be paid for.
Translocating.
Weird Squad's moving up, but they have to be careful with Dignity. Dignity has a good ult generation. Earthshatter's about to come up, 96%, already at 100. Their tank is down, and they're going to be pushed back again. Dignity getting a good heads up on their... And all of them looking for as much as Knight, all in the front with his Zarya, abusing that high charge that he's gained so far, trying to get just a little bit more on that. Rally's going to be coming up, so it's going to make Dignity very chunky. But as for the Weird Squad, they just need to generate a little bit more to get around that corner. They got to be careful, though. Don't want to run into that. You see Rally keeping them chunky. Earthshatter in the back, destroying the barrier, but not able to get anyone from getting stunned right now. The Weird Squad kind of separating him. A Lucio barrier to keep them nice and chunky, but Graviton putting that point. It's going to keep them alive. Earthshatter to put them down. Transcendence put on them right now. Dignity completely in EMP. They can't use any of their abilities. Their pushback, their tank is down, but they got the rest of their team. They're kept nice and healthy. The Zarya barrier is keeping them alive. Right now, the Weird Squad, one Chevron, but no doubt Dignity's looking for something. They're staying there. They're not backing away. Diva Bomb on the point. They need to look for something. Zarya barrier to keep everything alive. Graviton against Dignity to keep them off the point, but they're slightly there. Point taken for Dignity.
Stop the payload.
For Weird Squad, sorry. Now, Dignity did put a lot into trying to get to that point. Their defense isn't going to look very good for the start of Phase 1. So you can see it. They're moving back a bit. They won't, one, they need their full team, but two, they're not going to be able to contest too much. They need a little bit of generation, but they need to also stop that point. Graviton used really initially charge put against it, but right in retaliation, Zenyatta and Zarya barriers put against it. Rally for Dignity, keeping them chunky. Earthshatter, not seeing anyone, but a charge, pushing them way too back. Weird Squad able to get Dignity's Brigitte all the way to the back, but not able to finish it off. Actually going in favor of Dignity. Dignity's in this awkward area. They don't want to fight in this corridor, but they do see the west of the Weird Squad. They want to get as much as they can. They're pushing all the way to that corridor. They are one down. They're making sure, I assume, not to C9. Weird Squad see their opportunity. EMP, Earthshatter put right after. They love that combo, but they weren't able to get the Zenyatta. All of them kept alive by that one ultimate. They're looking for it. They're just sieging at this point. The shield as much as they can, but the Weird Squad's getting the up and up. Nice armor. Chunky for them. Graviton holding them to that corner there, and then Lucio barrier to add on top of it. It's looking beautiful for the Weird Squad. They are huge right now. They've got just the chunkiness of the armor, the chunkiness of the shield, and they're pushing with it on top of that Graviton. I gotta say, Phase 2 definitely looks like theirs.
Beacon in place. See you later.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
So they move forward with it. They've got Zenyatta, they've got Earthshatter, so they're moving up with it. They feel like they can aggress with it very easily. Dignity trying to keep themselves alive with that armor, but that rally's not hitting anyone else. Earthshatter taking on half their teeth, and Transcendence for both teams coming out. Ooh, Dignity almost losing their tank there, but they're able to keep them alive. They're just waiting, reconciling, looking at what they can do, trying to generate those ultimates. They're about to get the Earthshatter up, but they were EMP'd. They're looking to separate. Their team is going down, getting whittled down by Unwanted on that Zarya. He's just has full, undoubtable pressure on them, but he goes down as the mechanical play is strong on Dignity. They're able to take him out, but the tank line is on the point. That point is no doubt moving forward, and they gotta back away. Dignity's ultimates are looking great right here. They got Diva Bomb. They're backing away. They want to go full into this. They've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Lots of time. They have very precious ultimates that they can use that can win this in one easy swoop. But Graviton is used against them. They got to be careful. They're aggressed upon immediately. Diva Bomb on top of Graviton. Used against them. Transcendence. Not able to do anything. And they're slightly separated here. Weird Squad backing away.
Let's make sure someone stays with it.
They got there's Sombra in the background, but Dignity is onto this. They don't want to see 9 when a Sombra is on the end. He's got back together. Graviton in the backside. They're trying to jump on top of it as best they can, but they were separated. Lucio barrier to keep Weird Squad alive. Here it is again, combining both ultimates. The EMP able to take out the rest of Dignity, and it looks good for them. They might be able to get the contestation from Knight, able to keep it right there on that point. Transcendent's going to make it longer. Dignity's going to get the reinforcements they need. Earthshatter going down, taken out. The Weird Squad, but then Earthshatter in retaliation, stopping Keith. Right now, the Weird Squad have Transcendence, keeping them alive. They're going to last just a little bit longer. Rally and Lucio barrier. just keeping Dignity going. Their reinforcements is coming if they've lost someone, and they're slowly whittling away at the aggression of the Weird Squad. Weird Squad has to be careful here. They're already hitting the 1 minute point, but they're getting the kills they need. Diva, and they're not on the point. Graviton removing them from there, and Weird Squad finishing the map.
Play of the game.
Very smart, very smart.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
And I suppose that the issue, even with Dignity able to get that point all the way close to the end without finishing that third map, or that third point, the map could have easily gone to a non-overtime. The Weird Squad finishing up. Since the Weird Squad are the winners, Dignity now have to choose their next map. We're going to be going into the second map here. It is best of 5, and we were going to 1 minute. Welcome back, everyone, and we're going back to the beautiful mountain, I suppose, region of Nepal. We've been seeing a lot of Nepal, not only today, but yesterday as well. A lot of the teams just enjoy that Koth structure, the maps. I can see why teams might choose it. It tends to put people out of their comfort zones. You need to switch up your compositions almost at every single map in Nepal, so some teams might see that as a benefit, especially when they're running into a team that simply is too good in one composition.
Show them what you can do.
Not yet.
This is, of course, Dignity's choice, as right now teams are relegating. We're seeing on the Weird Squad some form of death ball, as well as the May. We've seen Weird Squad use this to their advantage a lot, sieging inside to the best of their ability. And Dignity, it looks like they're going for just a normal type of dive with not only an Ana, but a Fair.
Let's get you healed up.
Apologies, ladies and gents. My Overwatch is having a little bit of issues, but no doubt the fight is going on, and I'm already seeing right now that the Weird Squad are getting contestation on that point, and they did lock it in. We're still seeing a fight going on from there, though. The fight is kind of relegating everywhere. The Weird Squad have a death ball. They can stick to one area. As for Dignity, their fights are hit and run. They can't stick to one area. That being said, though, the Weird Squad are moving from the point onto Dignity. Whatever they can find, they immediately jump that very slow Ana to take out any form of heals, but the rest of Dignity is looking for cover. Already 20% for the Weird Squad.
The power of destruction.
The Weird Squad really want that Pharah, but they don't really have anything to tackle it. That Pharah barrage come down the moment they're not looking for it, but it had a very bad angle. She stopped a little bit too early. Maywall put up to stop half of the dive from Dignity. and they're finally seeing traction. EMP not letting any of the Weird Squad use their abilities and are trying their best to do damage. Contest that point just a little bit longer, hitting that 50% bar, but no doubt Dignity has got that point. Now they did get a good amount of ult generation in the defense of the Weird Squad. They generated a good amount. They're gonna have to fight just a little bit to finish off a few ultimates, but Dignity already ready. They probably already know what it is they're gonna be doing.
Justice.
Weird Squad going around the corner already. Again, Farah Barrage hitting that backside, and I think Weird Squad's attack is down as they've lost majority of their DPS, also a tank and also support, literally almost everything. So I can't see them moving forward, and only Farah Barrage used in that. Shinigami, no doubt. I mean, we saw him use it in the last fight. We saw him use it again in this fight. Might see him use it again if he gets enough damage. And he's trailing high in the skies. The Weird Squad see him, they're shooting at him, but they can't worry about him for very long. They're being separated, they're being stopped, but their team is constantly being damaged. Every other ultimate comes their way. They try to get on the point, but they've already taken too much damage. Not only the Pharah, not only the Monkey, but as well as the Diva Bomb just going against them. The rest of their team literally dies the moment they get onto the point. They gotta think of something. They have to use something, but Dignity's too separated to take advantage of Earth Shatter, of Graviton. So no doubt their idea is to somehow get on that point.
Clearing the area. Thanks for the assist.
And Shinigami is just artillerying them. They're seeing this. They're looking for a way. Farah Barrage already gained. They weren't watching. They saw that one of their teammates accidentally fell behind, and time is not with them right now. 90%. This is the last push, and it's not looking good. I don't see how they're gonna get past all this dive. And it looks like it's gonna have to be with switches as one of them, or rather not switches, but with their Diva, as they're gonna try to get to the point, but nobody is close to it. Phase 1 goes to
Score 0-1. Ready for battle.
Now for the next map, we might not run into those same issues. Farah can still be played here. Farah is still a pretty strong pick, but she isn't going to be playing at those possibly very high sight lines. The skybox in that specific map in Nepal is too high to be dealt with a death ball, but here might be a little bit more easier.
Oh, yeah!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Dignity is going to be going with a dive, and they're going to be going against another dive from Weird Squad. No fair. Both of them fighting at statue, seeing what they can pick out. Zarya's in the front line, getting nice amount of monkeys off the side, putting up their shields, just trying to get as much electricity as they can. Nobody on the point just yet. They're just looking to try to get any pick, any advantage they can before they've got to contest.
The objective is now active.
Both of them have moved into a position of contention. They don't want anybody getting this point early, any percentage early. All of them looking for something. Zarya's at high charge. Monkeys looking for anything, and Transcendence coming in for Dignity. This is going to help them. They've got essentially unlimited HP, but that Lucio barrier coming in against it. Transcendence against it too, and everything is coming out when it comes to support ultimates, and the monkeys are just going to be going on top of the Gravitons and Diva Bombs. Every ultimate looks like it's going to be used here in order to get this first point. But Dignity, I didn't even notice Dignity was able to get that point since Weird Squad actually went inside. 20% already on the marker. Weird Squad need to do something. They were able to get the up and up. Their Zarya was staying on the inside. Maybe that was the good choice for them. They lost close to 30% on the time, but they get to contest it now. They get to be the aggressors. That being said, though, everybody used their ultimates. The only ult really getting close here is Lunacy's Diva.
That's not right.
It might be a big part here. Electricity going over the edges right now. Contestion going in onto both sides supports Diva Bomb to cut in between, but that Diva Bomb's a little too high. Nothing seen in any form of damage, and all of them are fighting in this glass area. It is a complete bar fight here, as right now Dignity did lose a good amount of their team. It's a harsh time to use Transcendence here, since their team is just basically whittling away at the number superiority right now of the Weird Squad. It looks like they're just going to be cleaning up here. Well, it's harsh for Dignity. They did use a good amount. They're going to have to generate in the next go. But as for the Weird Squad, they've got Graviton. They've got Monkey. They've got the ability to contest possibly to an... Weird Squad popping that Monkey initially. They see that the supports are all the way in the backline. They don't want to deal any of it. Monkey's a little bit low, looking for just a little bit of Sanctuary Dignity, popping their ultimates, see what they can do. Monkey able to see two picks off the bat. The Weird Squad looking for some form of way to contest, moving in and out, just trying to get as much as possible, but Dignity do have the advantage here. Now, luckily Dignity only use their tank and support-based ultimates. They've got Diva Bomb, they've got Transcendence, they've got Graviton, so good holding ultimates for them. But on the opposite side, practically the same. First aggression comes from Dignity, as well as the Diva Bomb from the backside. They were just held still. Those AoE heals just aren't enough, as Dignity is able to pile on the damage and hold just a little. Nothing set though. As for the Weird Squad, they didn't waste much. Got a lot coming in on it. Graviton, Rally, Diva Bomb, Transcendence, everything to keep them alive. They're looking not to actually contest the point. This is practically their last assault. They want to make the most of it. Rally to start it off to keep them nice and chunky. Graviton right when they contest. Diva Bomb right from behind. Nothing happening right now. Transcendence keeping the Weird Squad alive. They're contesting, but no form of percentage coming through. They had to back away just a little bit. They've used practically everything. Last thing left is Monkey, as he's able to go to the back, deal with that Zenyatta, try to take away a good chunk of the damage. Both teams looking for anything. Heals are going great. We're looking at Brigitte. We're looking at Lucio's keeping everything alive, but Keith does go down from Dignity. That's a harsh one. The overtime is up, and they've got to keep contesting to the point. If they're kept off, they have to be careful. The longer this takes, the harsher it is. It's going to be for the Weird Squad to go. Dignity's not going to leave this. They still have like a good 10 seconds after the point switches, but they don't want to leave it to that. They want to put everything here, but the Weird Squad are getting the picks. Point switches, but Dignity still have time. They've got a good 7 seconds to do literally anything. There's practically no ultimate save at Diva Bomb, and I have no doubt it's going to be used immediately. And the point is secure. It's going to be a 1-for-1 as both sides go.
Experience tranquility.
Score 1-1.
Oh, time to
Ready
accelerate.
for battle.
Let's shoot for a new high score.
We're going to be hitting up the last map here. It's anyone's game at this point. I mean, again, it's a 1-for-1. Even though Weird Squad, I believe, do have that map on their backs. This is the second map in play. This is a key hallmark. We're either going to be moving to a match point, or we're going to possibly going all the way to game.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
Mercy on cause.
Both teams with different ideologies. Dignity looking at that Pharah, as they did in the first Nepal map. But the Weird Squad looking for not only long-range damage, but with a Pharah. Honestly, it's strange. And I believe Rapture actually worked this in the previous game. He said the Hammond needs to play as Hammond does, and that's what he's doing. He's distracting to the best of his ability, just chunking as much damage as he can, letting everyone else do damage, and it worked in Weird Squad's favor. And we're possibly going to be seeing just a rotation of that. Nanimal on Hammond, just going to be the first aggressor every time. Everybody else keeping far sidelines, the Pharah in the sky, the Widowmaker as far as physically possible from that dive, just pot-shotting as best as they can. But Dignity being aggression from several sides. The Hammond needs to choose one fight, and he was on the opposite side of the map. Now, the Weird Squad, losing half of their members, is looking for something. All they're looking for is congestion, tankiness. They've got a Tracer moving everywhere. Tracer bomb down, but seeing no one. That point is literally just a sliver away. And it does look good for Dignity from here.
Clearing the area. I'm with you.
Now, the fights are no doubt going to continually be scrappy. It's a psychological warfare at this point, but we are seeing switches. No more Widowmaker. We're switching it to an Ashe. That damage is still good at the long range, but we're seeing a much more offensive-based ultimate. Dignity, though, seeing that the Ashe was pushed up a little bit too much, jumped immediately on top of it. We're seeing already contention all the point from the backside. The moment the tanks move forward, but Dignity aren't having it. The Weird Squad, though, the moment they jumped in, moving forward, we're seeing EMP, and then right after Fair Barrage, but it was denied just immediately. The Weird Squad are almost equivalent right now to Dignity as they're looking for anything, but they are losing members. Tracer isn't exactly a chunky target, and the Valkyrie is not going to keep her alive. Dignity only wasting 2 ultimates, and everything else is just gonna chunk them up. Diva Bomb to get everyone just far away from her. Monkey to keep them chunky, and then just support ultimates, just keep everyone alive. It's gonna be a harsh attack. Dignity looking for anything, pushing on top of it. Ooh, a combination of nano boost. I supposed to keep the monkey alive. They were both activated at the same time. Not the best ults to put together, but the Ana wanted to keep that monkey alive, and it worked in their favor. The monkey being alive, pushing him back with the monkey ultimate, actually took out. It's going to be 10 seconds. Diva Bomb left in tow, and we're not seeing much for the Weird Squad. They need to use their mechanical play to go forward, but Diva Bomb used immediately to push them away. 2 seconds left. Somebody on the point. That overtime is going to go through. The Weird Squad don't really have reinforcements in tow.
Time to raise my APM.
This is definitely going to be the last point, and the Weird Squad aren't just going to let this point go so easily. They're contesting to the best of their possibility. Brigitte healing Diva, using all the potential of her mech overtime on the halfway point. Tracer, or rather Zenyatta at the corner, but it's not enough. Dignity take.
Play of the game.
And just that rough gameplay with Keith. I mean, when it came to Dignity, they knew when to just let and unleash that electricity just constantly. And it's a good thing they got this map, because now they're evening it up with Weird Squad. These matches are going to keep going. Quick 1-minute break as these teams choose their maps. Quick announcement, ladies and gents. We're actually going to be moving that break to 5 minutes, so don't sit there. Go find some quick refreshments. We're moving it up. Players are going to be switching a bit. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Go too far though. One of the last maps is coming up, and we'll see you there. How's it going, Overwatch fans? Welcome back to ECS 2019 finals between the Weird Squad and Dignity. Now, we're 1-for-1 here. Both teams equal. It's a best of 5. Weird Squad lost against Dignity last match, so they've decided to choose Numbani, and I find that fascinating. First map coming up was King's Row, just naturally, and then Dignity chose Nepal. Rather than go into another Koth or even 2CP, the Weird Squad have decided to go with a payload for the most part, hybrid, if you will, which is practically the same as King's Row and the map they won, so maybe they feel much more comfortable on those types of maps. For Weird Squad, as they're starting up defense, they're looking at a partial dive, a soldier for the back, nice strength with a Pharah in the sky, and we'll be seeing what Dignity tries to pull out here. And I'm also, I think I'm interested because last time the Weird Squad, all they ran a lot was goats, but it's clear that they know different types of compositions. They understand that there's certain niches from other things. So it's a good thing that they're able to veer around and kind of adapt, if you will. Dignity starting up, trading artillery between opposite side Pharahs as they're looking for something. Dignity dives to the front line of the Weird Squad, and Weird Squad are trying to hold their position. Halfway to their HP, they jump off, and right now Dignity already has the first chevron. The Weird Squad aren't going to leave that alone, though. They're not contesting. It's already, but now they are, as they dive in immediately, realizing that they are losing a little bit too much HP. They're naded. Diva mech down for the Weird Squad, and their tank line isn't looking too well. Dignity separated, only 2 people on the point, and that's what Weird Squad's going for. They see that there's only a few people on point. They want to take them out, and they were able to get just a little bit of traction. Soldier from the Weird Squad finally able to get his ult, taking out everything in the sky, and now aiming for those tanks. They're able to hold, but Dignity was able to get 2 chevrons down.
I'm on fire.
Dignity trying to make this quick. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. They want to get the most out of this. They're able to hack the Pharah. She's on the ground. A difficult thing to go against, but the heals are going on them. Weird Squad actually able to get the pick on that aggression, and it looks like they retaliated well against Dignity. Dignity, though, do have good ultimates. They've been getting a lot of damage throughout here. They've had full reign over sightlines, so they're possibly going to be looking into a nice aggressive play, something to just push them off. It would have been nice to keep that for phase 2, but I think we've gone past that at this point. Ooh, one's being captured though very closely, and then the attack goes through as a distraction. Dignity throwing their Diva Bomb to the point, and then right after Weird Squad, but it doesn't see anything from the Weird Squad. Fair Barrage going right after. Dignity want this point as fast as they can. There's no more wasting time. They need to move forward from there, and they're showing it in their play.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Pharah's trading as much as they can again. There's not much that Weird Squad can do beyond just trading, as well as with their Zenyatta. They're looking for as much damage as they can get, and they're actually able to get it. Slick, seeing that Shinigami went down trying to take out the Mercy, but the res does go through. There's not going to be any form of stagger here, but res is down. They got to be careful, but Knight takes out Unwanted. That's one less DPS that Dignity has to deal with. Monkey doing his best to distract the payload. Is already going to the halfway point. Unwanted accidentally used the ultimate, trying to get anything from the Pharah, moving up, trying to take full advantage of the time he had left, but was actually taken out. This is a harsh place right now for Weird Squad. Their tanks in the front line being annoying, but they don't have any DPS.
Justice reigns from above.
Shinigami able to get a good amount of his Pharah barrage, but taken out in tow. It's not looking good right now, though. The payload's no doubt going to move forward for Dignity. The question is, does Weird Squad have enough to contest? And it does feel like they're aggressing for it. Unwanted and Slick looking for anything they can get. Right clicks going on full. Unwanted seeing what headshots he can pull through. The point's about to get there, and it doesn't. Oh, it actually does make it, as it was just not enough. Nanimal got on the point, but then jumped off it to dodge that Diva Bomb. Phase 2 for Dignity, and they're going to keep moving forward.
Dein Schutzengel ist da. Thanks for the assist.
Both teams have just consistently been using their ultimates, but Dignity has been just getting good ultimates so far. Shinigami getting destroyed every time he uses Fair Barrage, but they didn't get able to get 1 to 2 picks is what saved them. Oh, EMP going into the backside, able to take out Sip, able to take out Steel Kiwi, the weird squad trying to do their best to just get their team back together. No support, so their tanks are going to have the HP that they have now, and the Dignity's not going to let that happen. 75% of the point down, they're going to get to the end, and some contention has to happen. D.Va on the point from the weird squad. Hacked. No bomb coming through. That's possibly what he was going to go for. Taken out immediately, but the Transcendence comes right after, keeping those tanks alive, but there's hardly any damage. The only damage there is that Reinhardt and that Zarya, and they're trying their best. Dignity, though, they don't gotta worry. All they gotta do is hit and run. The points already, though, they just gotta look for it. Nano Boost and Fair Barrage to take out Steel Kiwi, and Knight takes out Slick, and it's no damage. Practically no support. The health they got is here for Glitch, trying his best to heal his team, keep the team alive with the Ravi. D.Va Bomb able to take out 2 members of Dignity, but they still got a good amount. Farah and Monkey. Monkey down. Farah, all that left, and the weird squad able to hold. That D.Va Bomb definitely saved their life. Dignity, though, didn't waste too much. They had to put everything into that. Graviton coming back up for the weird squad. Dignity still has a good amount they need, no doubt. EMP is going to be the first thing that comes in there. What comes after, though, it's going to have to be something good. Looking for it, and Farah's hitting in the background. The back line is completely EMP. D.Va Bomb coming in right after, taking 3 members. Only 3 members left of the weird squad. Luckily, it is tanks. They're nice, chunky, keeping that point there. Graviton keeping the rest of the of Dignity, not for being able to do any more damage. Reinforcements coming in. They've got respawn advantage, and luckily that point isn't close enough really to just warrant them jumping in on top of it. D.Va just hiding in the background. Reinhardt coming in. Reinforcements aren't looking good right now but Reinhardt just able to keep majority of that damage out of the way, and then next is Tracer, and it's just going to be coming from there. Oh, but not enough, as when he recalls the point finishes. Dignity able to finish the map all the way through.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Now, there's a good thing for Dignity. Last time they weren't able to finish the map, and I was about to say it almost looked like a King's Row situation there. They got 2 points, and I was afraid that they were not going to be able to finish that third one, basically almost at the cusp of getting phase 3. But finishing it off means they get that 1 minute 30-second time back. Now, that's assuming Weird Squad's able to finish this entire map.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And for the most part, I'm happy to say that a lot of this has got to do with just the beautiful ult rotations coming out from both teams. But we are seeing just a little bit of beautiful mechanical play. Knight, consistently. Every time you see him EMP, he just shoots straight for the Zenyatta. No shield HP. That means just an easy 25 HP kill. And we're seeing that consistently. It's something that, no doubt, right now the Weird Squad is fearing, so we're not seeing a Zenyatta on their side. We are seeing a Tracer, though, so they got to be careful. Knight, already seeing the majority of their team. He shot for that Moira. Weird Squad knows that they got a Sombra behind them, but they're going forward. They're pushing up, not letting them get close to their supports, and Knight pushing nice and strong. He sees those tanks alone. He saw the supports go on the left, but then the supports switch around right now. Dignity looking to peek the corner as best as they can for their DPS, but Knight just back there, just doing all the damage he can, and he's got his back door already set up. The Weird Squad, damage, just a majority from Knight, and now they're just cleaning up.
This will protect us.
Yeah, they gotta be careful there. Knight is literally being almost uncontested, and he's doing a lot of damage.
Healing stream engaged.
Not much ult generation going for the weird squad, so they got to be careful. But they do have a Sombra in the background. They got sidelines. They're possibly looking for anything they can, any form of recon. He's standing in the middle there, seeing what he can possibly tell his team. Does the initial hack. Pharah can't get away. They see that ultimate. Monkey on top. EMP though against the weird squad. They can't do anything against that. Only their tanks are against Pharah right now, and she was able to barrage, but she died right after. All that's left right now is tank and a tracer, and I can't see how weird squad will do this. And it looks like they won't, as right now they're just pushing it aside. It was a good push, but the Sombra EMP just completely denied it.
Be right back.
Next up, they got a good amount of ultimates in tow. They need just a little bit of a dry push in order to gain just a lot more to push this, but they're getting to kind of the crisis mode. 4 more pushes practically for them left, and they need to push it so that they can get this point. Diva Bomb pushed to the back of the weird squad. Nothing seen in tow, and Dignity are getting kills along the stream, taking out Slick, taking out Lunacy. Is just going from there, unwanted, able to get the Ana. The heals are down right now for Dignity, but I don't think that's enough.
This will improve your condition.
This is gonna make...
Now we're in the same situation we were before. Weird squad. They're probably going to look for a good dive, and it's possibly going to be a good dive, but if they're denied by another ultimate, it's going to be in vain. We're seeing EMP for Dignity, no doubt going to be used on top of the majority of the team. Coalescence used immediately, trying to use it against, but then denied again by the EMP. Good chunks of the team on the point, just being dived upon by Dignity. No abilities can be used right now.
60 seconds remaining.
If Weird Squad lucky, they've got at least 2 more pushes going for them. This is their map. They need to look for something, and they're holding on. They don't want any form of switches, except they are actually going to switch Unwanted to Widowmaker, see what they can push out, possibly take out that Pharah, but they got to be careful. Pharah's still holding on to that barrage. We're going to see if that's going to go well. Monkey looking to get just a little bit chunk of that HP, and no doubt going to pop it as best as it can. He saw that Diva coming. Possibly thought the rest of his team, but it's not looking for it. The weird squad looking for anything. EMP used on top of the whole team. Diva Bomb right after. Beautiful. Able to get the monkey from Dignity. Tanks down. All that's left is the supports, and they're putting up actually a really good defense. The rest of Rear Squad, though, not in sight as they were taken out by the rest of Dignity. Fair Barrage used in a small corridor, not actually eliminating them, possibly with just a little bit of healing. Not enough time for that Hammond to get on point. Dignity takes the point, pushing them up 2-1.
Play of the game.
Nerf this!
Diva Bomb's had good work here on both sides of the team. So next up, we're going to be seeing Weird Squad. Again, they've got to reconcile. They got to think, what map are we going to have to use to best Dignity, to use our own strategies? They're going to be thinking of that. We're going to go to a quick 1 minute, 30-second break. Don't go too far. Welcome back, everybody, and we're going to the beautiful streets of Rialto. This is a Weird Squad's choice. Dignity currently 2-1. This is their match, or this is their game match point, practically. If they win this map, they get to go on to the All SR finale for ECS 2019.
Ready for battle.
That being said, though, the game is still young. There's still a possibility. This is Weird Squad's choice. They feel like Rialto is their terrain, is the terrain they're going to need to keep this match going for a 2-for-2.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I can't wait to get into the fight. Hiya. Hello.
Now for Weird Squad, we're seeing just the normal goats, practically goats, just the general deathball goats, 3 support, 3 tank.
4, 3.
As for Dignity, they're looking at a dive glitch on Widowmaker. Glitch on actually on D.Va, switching it up. They don't want to see that range. They possibly didn't see anybody. Those sidelines aren't too great. Knight, though, is still on Sombra, which has been working for them really well. Shinigami able to take out Slick as he was pushing in the Weird Squad. Don't want to take any more losses. That's their big damage. Discord does a lot of work, especially in a 3-3 comp. They don't want to waste any more, but they are wasting more. Dignity taking full advantage of that, diving on top of them with their Pharah Mercy. There's nothing that can attack them. Those Discords, that Zenyatta, do huge amount of work against not only the Mercy, but the Pharah.
Pardon me. My ultimate
Shinigami playing it huge. They're crouching back there. Knight able to get the hack, and that was a little bit scary there. Able to get the hack on the Weird Squad Sombra. Dignity already practically done with phase 1. 2 kills in, and they're against 4 people, and they finish that payload. We're already moving to phase 2, and Dignity are snowballing it straight through, getting good amounts of kills. They're not letting up any form of space, taking full advantage of the map, completely ahead of the point. Shinigami getting huge amount of work from his stuff, 96%. He's about to get Pharah Barrage, and he's about to become more deadly. We're not seeing any really switches from the Weird Squad. The biggest counter, it seems, right now to Pharah is Lunacy on Sombra. They need to do something, as this point's already nearing the halfway point of phase 2.
I'm ready to unleash my primal rage.
Animal able to get Knight. Good kill. EMP out of the way, but the res comes through. It's a 6-for-6 now, as both teams are vying for ultimates. EMP in top with Shinigami on the Pharah Barrage, and it's looking great for Dignity. Everything, all their ultimates at complete, full, 100% efficient use, and they're practically done with phase 2. I don't see any way for the Weird Squad to do it, so phase 2 is definitely done for Dignity. This is definitely a snowball, ladies and gents, but this archway isn't an easy one to push through. Full respawn advantage for the Weird Squad. They need to take advantage of it, as right now, Unwanted, rather than going to a Widowmaker, looks like he's going to be trying the McCree. They really don't like that Pharah, and it looks like Dignity realizes that, switching to the Death Ball. Pharah can't really take too much work there in that archway, so not really good for Unwanted considering the switch, but his accuracy might still be good in play here. Dignity looking for something when it comes to their Death Ball right now. D.Va Bomb going straight in, pushing people away from the point. They want this point to keep going. They want the momentum to keep going, but Weird Squad pushing the EMP. Lunacy able to get a good amount, but no form of attack going in. Dignity simply push back, wait just a little bit, shield back up, Earth Shatter on top of literally everyone. High Noon completely denied.
Be right back.
Dignity's just cleaning up here. Damage is down. The Earth Shatter handled everything. All that's left is tank and one Sombra. The points simply being held for so that reinforcements can get a good spawn. The points, no doubt, going to get to the halfway point. The Weird Squad are pinned against the wall. They need to do something. Rally to keep their team chunky. Lucio Barrett coming up, but nothing else. There's been too many switches here. Both rallies coming up, both teams chunky. Dignity kind of slightly whiffing their Graviton, but able to get at least still Kiwi, taking out one support. Less HP coming in for the Weird Squad as they're both looking for anything that they can. D.Va in the skies, Lunacy trying to get any form of damage he can, even in his hoops, but Keith able to get already 2 people. The point is just slightly inching forward, but the Weird Squad realizes that. D.Va Bomb going in the sky, no form of shields going forward except for the point itself, and they use it. Still Kiwi trying his best, no reinforcement in sight, and Dignity Dignity get a good time on Rialto.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
That was a good show up from Dignity, especially against Weird Squad. This is their chosen map, so maybe they feel that their aggression can be just as good. They lost, I believe it was still Kiwi, too early in this first phase. They might not repeat, rather, the same mistakes again. All they need to do is somehow repeat some form of snowball, get to the point so that they can get towards that overtime, or rather, a full map completion so they can start working their time bank. But if they're not careful, Dignity could push them to have literally a 0-second time bank.
30 seconds.
Translocating.
This is, of course, a good place for Dignity. They've pushed the map completely through. If they're able to hold them here, this is their match. This is their win. They're 2-1. This will be their 3 win of a best of 5, and they get to move on to the All-SR final.
3, 2, 1.
Clearing the area.
Attackers incoming.
Weird Squad
The payload.
looking for a dive, as well as trying to take advantage of that Sombra. No more hit scan, going for unwanted. Looking for Farah as well. Dignity looking to take as much damage as they can. They've hacked Win 98. They're looking for her, but she's able to get to the back. Not getting any form of damage, and right now the Weird Squad looking for any damage they can get, but they're taking a lot from that front line. Dignity not letting anything go unwarranted. The points move too forward, they say, and they're just doing as much damage as they can, taking full advantage. And the moment they get a kill, pure backaways. They gotta be careful here, though. They're trying to jump into the full force of Dignity, but the point slowly moves forward. Nano boost put forward to Nanimal as that electricity is just piercing through Dignity, not wanting to take the full front of that. As they back away slightly, Diva bomb to the back, and it's definitely going to get a good area there, and the rest of Weird Squad are able to defend themselves. Everybody else comes out. 2 good hits from Hamza on Shinigami. That's a huge damage dealer on Dignity out of the way. This could be theirs.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
All that's left is tanks here. It's literally just waiting for reinforcements, seeing if there's any time they can get. The Weird Squad are farming it to the best of their ability. That chunky monkey is giving them a good amount of ult generation, and they're going to use it all the way. Now, phase 1 is about to finish, and I'm not sure if Dignity can pull it off here to contest it any farther, but we'll see. Actually, time is going a little bit farther. A majority of their team is there. EMP in the background. Keith already on the point, already on the front line of the Weird Squad, and they're getting a good amount. Darn it, Caster's Curse. That's what I get. I mean, a Sombra was in the background. Monkey was already at the halfway point. Of course, his jump could get there. Beautiful. The Weird Squad, though, need to find something. They didn't use that much ultimates. It was a surprise attack on their point, so they have stuff in tow to waste for phase 1. Sniping Hamza able to take out Glitch. That's a good damage dealer out of the way. Weird Squad looking for anything. Nano boost on Monkey to just empower that front line, make him more chunky, not let him die so easily, but he is hacked. He could be taken out at any time, but the points slowly push forward. Oh, asleep immediately on Shinigami, not allowing him to get the full brunt of his of his fair barrage. And the moment he's down, Taylor's waited the whole full sleep dart.
The payload has
Knight trying to hold the point just a little bit longer, but phase 1 is done by the Weird Squad. They're pushing up as fast as they can. They don't want Dignity to gain any form of space. They want to just punish them for any form of movement they make. And it's fascinating that Searchy's not letting them stay in the sky. That's a good pick on the Ana. Rather than having a Brigitte, rather than having a Zenyatta, they trust that Ana, not only to heal them, but to deal damage to the
I
Pharah.
will not waste this opportunity.
They are purple right now, halfway through for the weird squad, and right now Dignity's looking for something. They're looking to generate anything and take advantage of anything. Weird squad barraging from the sky, using perfect sight lines as Hamza gets down, barraging, but nobody was there, sadly. Able to take out the tank of the weird squad. Everyone else is just kind of scattered about, and it looks like weird squad's attack is held for now. Hamza not wasting any time. He sees those skies. You see the clear sight lines. They have to push up a little bit to hold that point. He's willing to just deal a little bit of damage. That fair barrage is coming in close. Actually, no, it's actually switched about. They don't trust the skies anymore.
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Dignity moving in quick with the nano boost, abusing the monkey, but he falls into the water, taken out immediately. That's a huge tank out of the way for the weird squad. They end up losing Lunacy in tow though. And it looks like they're going to be waiting it. Even though they took out a major tank, they can't really push forward into that.
I'll show them.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me for dropping in.
Weird squad, completely purple, beautiful nade from Searchy, just completely denying. I mean, the AoEs are just doing nothing. They want to go in full. They don't want to go in with less HP, but they need to pull off their pants, so it's not going well. The Diva Bomb going into the sky, seeing if it can get anything, able to get Still Kiwi, less AoE heals coming out. They gotta trust in the Brigitte or the Ana to literally do anything, but the attacks are everywhere. Slick is trying his best to just heal his team, but it's not easy with those single heals. Kiwi moving around, trying to get his team to the back, but he might pay for it in tow. Dignity's not going to let them get anything away. They're trying to get as much as they can, using all that Zarya charge that they can to just deal as much damage, get those Gravitons ready for the next attack. 60 seconds left. Two more fights going. Graviton on the ground for Weird Squad, as well as Lucio Berry. But nothing. Dignity able to just deny it, not only with sleep darts, but just with being just kind of hit and run the either way. Weird Squad holding back a little bit. The moment they were aggressed upon, they took them out. They still got a good ways to go, though. The point moved back. There's at least one more fight going in here, and we're no doubt hitting the overtime for Phase 2.
30 seconds remaining.
Dignity's moving up. They're trying to look for sidelines, punish any form of movement. They know everyone's on the point. Graviton on point, and everyone there. Still, Weird Squad down. Lucio Barrier holding them, but they're all purple. No heals coming out. They lose their Brigitte. No heals. Both Diva Bombs too high in the sky, but they do get glitch. Right now, Dignity getting good kills. It's harsh for the Weird Squad. This is it. Dignity at a good place to get their 3-1 win. One person left. Monkey, reinforcements, too far. He's got a lot of HP, but he's against 5 freaking people. Overwatch at the max. He's down. Reinforcements are too far. The Brigitte is the closest person. Still Kiwi, and it's over. Dignity getting 3-1 and moving on to the All-SR final.
Play of the game.
Heroes never die.
EMP activated.
Incoming.
Great stuff coming out of both teams. Now, with these games done, Dignity is going to be moving on. I believe they're going to be facing... Actually, don't... Sherida. Actually, yes. No, Sherida. There we go. It's going to be Dignity versus Sherida, and that's just going to be in 15 minutes. 7 p.m. PST. Go get your drinks. Go get refreshments. Get a quick nap, but not too much of a nap. Tune right back in, because if you thought these games were great, this last game is probably going to be the greatest we've seen so far. I hope you join us. 15 minutes, ladies and gents, and I'll see you all there. Welcome back, Overwatch fans. The ECS 2019 All-SR Finals. My name is JJSkywalker, and this is our final match for the night between Sheridan Esports and Dignity. Now, I failed to mention this the last time, but each of these teams have respectively already run their, tournament bracket lines. For Sheridan, the low SR final, winning the $120 prize pool, and for Dignity, the high SR tournament bracket, winning their $120 prize pool. For this, it's definitely a neat matchup between not only the low SR but the high SR, vying for $40 to the winner as well as $20 to the loser. So we're going to be seeing what's better here: the low SRs, Sheridan Esports, that are able to bring out honestly an interesting amount of different types of composition, or the just high mechanical play from Dignity, who not only bring in concise kind of plans and not only ult management, but are able to also have high players like Shinigami from the sky and Knight from the shadows. Right now, when it comes to Sheridan, they were planning a sneak attack. They've been thwarted upon. In the sky is a Pharah, and they're already playing concise, though in the back they are being captured, and they are able to see just slight amount of traction, though on Dignity's side, we are seeing much more positional advantage. They've got the area cleaned up. They kind of scared just a little bit Sheridan Esports, as right now they got whittled down. They're on the point right now, but being taken down slowly but surely, and this does look like a Dignity win on phase 1. I might see a few switch-ups here for Sheridan. I'm getting a little confused because I've already casted for both these teams, and I just remember both of them being in the red. But we're good here, as right now we're seeing, again, Jeff switching to the Ashe, seeing if he can take advantage of that Bob. But Dignity, as we always seen in Phase 2, playing that forward team. Able to take out Keith, though this is still the front line. The point is moving forward and looking for anything. Express, though, rather than a Knight, is on the Sombra, and he's still playing a good game. Close to that EMP, hacking the front line, not being taken down very easily. Sheridan, though, looking for anything. They still haven't pushed up. Their team is looking for anything, and not a surprise that with that Sombra in the background, they gotta be careful of any form of sneak attacks to lose any form of effort. Jeff able to take out Shinigami. That's good enough damage out of the way, and they're pushing forward the Genji blade, seeing if they can do anything. Glitch able to take out a majority of Sheridan Esports, even though they did have the initial advantage, and they're going to be pushing up from there. Actually, it's a 2v1. Maybe Jeff's able to take out a Sombra and a Tracer. He's being aggressed upon. No. Dignity able to push up ever so slightly, taking out Jeff. That gives them enough time for reinforcements to be able to move up just a little bit, get ready to jump the point, but they're going to be down 1 DPS. Points nearing that end area. Dignity are looking for it. Their Tracers moved up, recalled, got him back on the point, and that Tracer bomb did huge work, taking out both supports. Sheridan Esports not going to be finding anything, and Shinigami finishes and cleans them up with his Pharah barrage, gonging up the team kill and moving on to phase 3. Now Sheridan need to look for something. They need to do some form of switches. They're being aggressed upon. That Genji play is deadly. Those Hammonds are annoying. Their backline is being aggressed upon by not only a Genji, but a Tracer. They need to figure something out. Bob is their answer right now. As they push him out, Rez comes out for Lethal Doran. They've got a good amount of people. That point is still moving up. They need to aggress upon it, and they're still in the backline. They're worried. Glitch is a terrifying opponent, and it's something that needs to be dealt with. After being dealt with, no doubt, they're moving up, and they're looking to push back Dignity finally. They gotta hold here for 4 minutes and 40 seconds. They gotta look for something. They gotta generate something. Dignity switching up their attack. They always start up with a distraction, move in their main DPS from there. Shinigami looking for anything, and it's working. They're whittling away at the defenses of Sheridan. But Sheridan still putting up a good fight. Monkey on point with his ultimate, trying his best just to whittle that point, keep it longer so that his team can pull up something. Dignity, on the other hand, they're fully stacked on their ultimates. They're ready for this attack. They could easily do 6 ultimates on this last point and push in mines to stop them from moving forward so easily. Right now, Sheridan looking for anything. Trance coming forward to protect his team. Diva Bomb on the point, pushing Dignity off. EMP hitting the majority of Sheridan Esports as they're just being whittled down by not only Fair Barrage but as well as Genji Blade. It was an easy snowball push for Dignity.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
So all Dignity's got to do really is play what they've normally played. We're probably going to see very similar tactics. Dignity's never really afraid to lose phase 1, which I find, slightly surprising. That phase 2 is huge. You can get so much momentum pushing the enemy back at this respawn, but I find it fascinating that they can't take advantage of that first point. But all high SR teams that we've seen so far never take advantage of this first point. They love phase 2 at the beginning of that phase 2. So it's something that Sheridan has to look out for. They still got to get through phase 1. So we'll see what Sheridan's going to try to pull out in order to aggress upon this point.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Impatient.
Right there. Hello there.
Dignity never leaving Shinigami off of that Pharah. It's powerful, it's strong. Everything else, though, it's not looking like tanks. Honestly, a very unorthodox type of composition coming out here with a combination of Torbjorn, Pharah, Mercy in the sky, Hammond in the front line to distract. It's a huge turret build practically with a DPS soldier, I guess, just in case that Pharah becomes a problem. Or a Pharah, rather. As for Sheridan Esports, they're pulling out a Pharah Mercy. They have Jeff on the Doomfist. They've got a hit scan in the background, and they've got one diver on Fracture. They've already taken out Lethal Doran with the Torbjorn. Dignity looking around, just aggressing upon anything they can. You can clearly tell what the called targets are, and then they move along, seeing what they can find. Sheridan Esports backing away from that initial assault. Jeff able to take out Express. Less turrets coming through. If there's no res is coming through, it's going to be a 6 but Jeff taken out. It's going to be an even fight, actually. Unfortunate. Fracture moving up to the front line, looking up for anything. Fracture given enough, a little bit too much space as he's taking out a combination of Hammond and Pharah damage. Sheridan slightly separated. They're losing people one by one. They're being staggered. Their attack is just slowly whittling away, and so is time. Shinigami able to take out Skeleton Jack. And this just keeps going. Volkir bringing back to Lin tonight. Shinigami getting a little bit too low for comfort. In the backline, Hammond distracting as Shinigami just lays in the artillery. Letter number able to take out Keith, and there it is. Finally, a 6v5 for Sheridan Esports. Glitch able to take out Fracture. Letter number able to take out that turret. And everyone looking for anything. Right now we've got fights not only in the right but the left. Lethal Doran looking for that Torbjorn. Express able to take out Skeleton Jack. Fights going on inside of this small carnival ride, and Sheridan does look like they're backed away, but they've got Jeff in the background looking for any form of kills. That Torbjorn turret's a little bit harsh though. He's taken out immediately.
I am empowered.
2-minute mark left. A good 4 more passes going through. We've got Doomfist ultimate. We've got a lot of ultimates coming out for Sheridan, but they need to gain them. Letter number able to take out Knight. That's 1 DPS going forward. Shinigami able to get a sneak fair barrage, but Transcendence to fight against it. Letter number taking out Shinigami. Molten Core to stop the attack going forward. Sheridan slightly pushed back. Volkir able to break out Skeleton, take out Skeleton Knight, bringing in his visor. Sorry, and right now we're seeing a good push forward by Sheridan. They've got a little bit of traction for that forward point, but Dignity is not leaving alone. They're pushing up. They've got visor as well as mines, and they're dropping it on the first phase point. They don't want this taken so easily as he's taken out immediately. Knight against Skeleton Jack. He's being pushed on by Jeff though. Jeff Even though on a low SR, he's doing a lot of work as he's able to take out both DPS from Dignity, but Dignity able to push back Sheridan. Unfortunate.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
60
Dignity
seconds.
getting their places back, and we've got 2 more fights going. That was a really good push from Sheridan, but they need to look for more, and they've wasted all their ultimates. They need to somehow gain it, not only in the next 30 seconds, but then use them in the next 30 seconds after that. Skeleton taking out Shinigami. That's a good thing in this guy. Mercy Res. No down is down, and Win 98 is down as well. No Valkyrie going in for them. Tojo Joints concentrated on the monkey. It's not going to be doing any form of damage. Jeff doing all he can to gain damage. Raise that shield for Doomfist and looking for any form of damage, but Express is just in that backline. There's no damage back there, and therefore he reigns with Tracer. The fights kind of go everywhere. It's a combination of a very powerful Doomfist and tank line in the front and very weak supports in the back, and both of them are taking like equal advantage of this. That's why we're seeing equivalencies between them. All that's left is Ultimate's Fracture, able to take out 2 people. This might be it as Doomfist looks for anything on the ground, but there is nothing. Shinigami is one of the sky. He's got damage. He's looking for something. He's looking for damage. 73%. He's moving around. He wants the contest. He wants that Hammond to be there. Wow. Dignity able to just wait, make that time go a lot longer for Sheridan Esports to contest a lot longer. Skeleton Jack trying to use his visor to take out the skies, but Knight on the ground takes him out. And what was an advantage was now a disadvantage as Dignity takes the first map of Blizzard World.
Victory. Play of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we saw Glitch here. I'm wondering if it was that last fight where we see the visor. No, it's going to be that Genji blade that just massacred the entire backline. A beauty. And it's a clear difference. We're seeing neat flares coming out from Sheridan, but they need to be careful when any member of the team are left alive. We're going to go to a quick 1 minute 30 second break as Sheridan Esports chooses their map. Welcome back, ladies and gents, and we're here in Hollywood for the next matchup between Sheridan and Dignity. Right now, Sheridan chose this map as we have seen them play on it, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm assuming possibly a Bastion. That's the best I can give you right now. If you watch so far, you know exactly what it is they're going to be pulling. As for Dignity, we've seen them. They dominate on these hybrid maps to Weird Squad's favor if you watched the high SR finale. Even though it was a Weird Squad choice to keep going hybrids, Dignity just kept pushing the advantage, kept pushing that time bank. So we're going to see if Sheridan's choice is good for them or bad for them. What I will find fascinating here is that we get to see the battle of different types of philosophies. Low SR versus high SR. In the high SR, you see a lot of very combative metas. With Sheridan, we saw this defense. It was a very difficult thing to push through. So it's going to be a fascinating thing to see Dignity kind of dissect it, or rather try to go through it.
Allow me to repair the damage.
in the front line. Shinigami trying to push alongside, taken out immediately, hooked upon, and it looks like they got a nice recon. They didn't have much of their team moving forward, as we see Jeff never kind of standing still, always making sure he's never going to be just jumped upon. They see it's dive, they're ready for it. They don't want to be surprised, if you will. They're waiting for their 6th over at Dignity, and they're no doubt looking for a way to aggress. They move their entire team to the back, looking for some type of close range, and no doubt they're all going to jump at the same time. We'll see what happens. Jeff getting a better vantage point, and time's just moving on. They honestly, it's surprising if you look on Sheridan's side. Where's the attack going to come from? The right, the left, and it's coming from the left. Jeff immediately goes for damage, blocked completely by the Diva. He's getting too much damage alongside, moves his mech towards the ground. Not enough damage down there as he's pushing straight through. He's getting healed completely, not only by the Moira, but the Mercy. But that Chevron's already at the first. That's the problem. The tank moves through. They're going to have to push their defense. It's a lot earlier than they did before. We've got a tank going through, and the defense goes well. Honestly, the bottom of Cafe is a difficult thing to hold, so that is surprising. But honestly, what isn't surprising is the amount of healing coming out from Sheridan. Either way, Dignity able to get out one Chevron, which is exactly what they want to do. Momentum, since it is a majority of the strategy, forces Sheridan to go into that Cafe, not contest point, and they're possibly going to keep doing that. You're waiting for the right moment. That time is always just is the knack. Zarya shielding the monkey in the front line, using his ultimate Transcendence for Dignity, keeping that monkey alive. That point's already in the second Chevron. Exactly what they want, as they created momentum. It forces Sheridan to get out of that cafe. Jeff has gotten his tank form. They're going to be pushing out from here, trying to abuse all the damage they can get. But here's the issue: Sheridan might have won this matchup, but they're on the second Chevron. Is it gonna be that in this next one, Dignity's able to get their third one?
Hello? Anyone out there?
I recommend moving behind somebody.
It's rare for momentum to go every time you lose a technical matchup, but against what they're going against, it's a lot of damage, and they're gaining momentum. They're going for a death ball. They move their team off the right side using Riley, able to get one person, win 98. Not bad. It's going to be a 6v5 now. Jeff moves off so he doesn't get aggressive on going on the point. Graviton on the corner, catching no one. Diva bomb off the back. No shields for them, but able to get behind the Orisa shield. Good push for them as Dignity is able to push back, but rather Dignity pushing forward, able to get their death ball in the right position, completely decimating Sheridan. Even with Jeff backing out, that sideline is not good for them. All they need is just a little bit of time, and they finish phase 1. Now I don't think we haven't seen Sheridan's phase 2, so this might be a little bit of an issue. As we know, Dignity loves to push forward. They gotta be careful here. They are running a death ball though. I think that's the fundamental difference. So all we see moving forward right now is their tanks.
This is gonna make you feel better.
Thank you.
Sheridan has switched it up. They've put Jeff on Ashe and letter number on Farah. No more Bastion. The sidelines are too much. The verticality is too much. Not actually able to take out letter number. A harsh loss right there for Sheridan, but still a possibility. All they got is tanks and supports in the front line, but it's not enough. The death ball moves forward. Transcendence, keeping them all alive. All the damage is on Dignity's side, and they're going to let it happen. Oh, an Express able to solo a hog just by a single Discord and a lot of left clicks.
Time to raise my APM.
Now Sheridan still have a chance to contest if they so decide, but their reinforcement signing on that Dignity are holding on to a lot of ultimates, so Sheridan has to be careful here as they not only Earth Shatter, but as well as Diva Bomb, a beautiful combination that is no doubt deadly.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Shooting ahead of me.
Phase 3, and they're already pushing up to the end here. They want that. They want Volk here to take that extra 10 seconds to respawn. Give Sheridan a lot of time to just get back together. 2 minutes, 50 seconds, and they've got a long way to go. Sheridan starting off with Bob in order to contest that point, stop it from doing anything. Bob taking huge amounts of damage, but it's the 7th member of the team. Discord on top of a Graviton going on Sheridan, holding all the tanks together, and everybody from Dignity is on that. Even though they weren't able to get the kill, Earthshatter right now, just for not only extra, but to ensure all the kills. All kills go to Dignity as they're going to be pushing this point, and no doubt it's going to be a contention at the end. Ooh, but both supports kind of stuck out there for Sheridan Esports as they do lose their Mercy. No respawns are going to be coming in for them.
The payload is approaching
Or no resurrections, sorry. Diva Bomb comes in for Dignity as they're able to take out Skeleton Jack, then Fracture. 2 people down for Sheridan Esports. Coalescence hitting all the members of Dignity. They can be keeping nice and neat. Even though they're a death ball, they separate when they need to and then coalesce together, ending Hollywood.
complete. Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
I don't remember what Sheridan did in Phase 2 and respectively Phase 3. I'm not even sure if they touched Phase 3, but I do remember that their plays were very much straight and strict. Sadly, they are going against Dignity, who are going to punish any form of play. They're not going to provide a still and static enemy to go against, so they have to be careful there.
Ready for
Considering what we saw run on their defenses, they seem to enjoy a lot of turret defenses. It looks like Dignity is actually going to be going with that Bastion play as well, actually running practically the same composition that that Sheridan ran. Sorry.
I'm not paying you for your acting ability. Let's get moving.
5, 4.
For Sheridan, we're seeing a rough death ball, but letter number on the Symmetra.
Incoming.
If she's able to gain her ultimate a good amount, I could see that shield becoming good use, if you will. We'll see. Bastion already dealing out damage. Actually, all of them dealing out damage. Rather than all of them being at the top, we see kind of like the Junkrat slightly being in the bottom. Them going to the right, Shinigami rises to the top. Who needs the sky when you have a lot of damage in your grenades? Grenades just constantly being shot in that direction. They don't wait. They're not waiting on their damage. They're just shooting down. They see that shield. They want to whittle it down. Well, the issue here is that they are peeking a lot. Some difference that we saw with Dignity is they never peeked. Oh, but that portal going in the under area, I wonder if they noticed that as they did immediately turn around. Sheridan all in the inside for Dignity as they're immediately aggressed upon losing one member of their team, pushed off their high vantage point using their Bastion, going to that high juice area, if you will. He's trying to set up. He sees letter number at the top. They're able to take him out. Jeff being Jeff being pulled to the ground, using his shield. Graviton able to be used. The rest of Sheridan aggressing upon it, seeing what they can gain from it. But respawns are gonna have to come through. Win 98, able to resurrect Knight, and that damage just comes back surprisingly for Sheridan Esports. That was a really, really good aggression, but now we're going to have to start moving into the ult area. And Dignity did get a good amount out of that. Sheridan looking for anything. They don't want any surprises. They know that they've gained something. They've gained some form of advantage in that fight. So they don't want anything abused from them early. They want to pass through. Jeff already across Symmetra, putting them under. Shield put through so that there is the sidelines are a little bit harsh. It separates Dignity a little bit, but it does not work. The combination of tank and Junkrat tire completely decimates Sheridan Esports. 1 minute 50 seconds left.
Greetings.
For your own safety, get behind the barrier.
Hello there.
Touch from afar.
So I suppose the biggest surprise here is Sheridan knows they need to take out the DPS. The issue is the moment. Whoa, and that was really good. Skeleton Jack being in the high vantage point with the Sombra, then immediately being healed upon, trying to dish out as much damage as he can, taking out the opposing Bastion, if you will. Both of them almost equivalent right now in kills, but Knight was resurrected. And that's what Win98 is doing. He just keeps resurrecting that Bastion, so he can keep coming back, keep doing much. Graviton, keeping them up in the high line. All they need to do is just a little bit of damage, and that's it. Since they have the second Chevron already done, there is no time right now. Oh, rather, unless Dignity decides to contest it in the corner, that does give them a lot of time. They need to kill this Moira. They were slightly distracted. They did win that, but they gotta be careful here. The longer it takes, the more time it leaves Dignity to reinforce. But either way, they're gonna be moving on to phase 2. Sheridan looking for something, but they're being aggressed upon by that partial dive that Sheridan has switched to. I mean, that Dignity has switched to, my bad. Junkrat Tire coming their way. They don't want it to destroy their slight momentum they got, but it does kill their Bastion. Hammond in the background, hitting up all the ultimates, doing what he does best, just tanking a good amount of damage, dealing a nice power driver, Earthshatter, coming in from Sheridan Esports, but it gathers nothing. It is a scram fight everywhere as this Death Ball is trying to get something out of this. They take out Knight, take out Express, but Shinigami still alive. Shinigami taken out, Win98 doing good amounts of damage from the background, and it does look like right now Sheridan is going to be able to push forward a little bit as the Bastion is on the point. Hammond is coming from the back. He wants to gain a little bit, and it's a bit of a surprise. Zarya shield to give him a bit. Keith pushed back. They still got time, though. It's going to get to the halfway point, possibly 75% through the map. Dignity's going to have their time to get together. Hammond was able to get a good amount for his ultimate. 10% left, or we might see it. Shinigami just switching his accuracy to those beautiful arrows, taking out the Bastion immediately out of surprise. Knight swinging his Genji blade to the best of his ability, taking out those Zarya barriers. Who cares about Zarya charge if you kill her immediately and you're able to decimate Sheridan? Well, luckily Sheridan held on to things. Graviton, 3%. It's definitely coming in. They've got Tank Form coming out, Lucio barrier, Symmetra barrier. Lots of things to hold back. To their dismay, though, they're going against... Oh, well, they were going against a partial dive. Diva Bomb coming in down on the majority of Sheridan. They're able to hold back slightly. Shinigami in the backline taking out letter number. Lots of ults coming out. They're trying to hold still. Setting up Skeleton Jack on that Bastion, seeing if they can get anything but Knight picking pot shots off that top left corner. They didn't see her. That's going to push the time bank slightly back. They got to be careful here. Any form of losses, any form of things pushing them back is just going to reduce them back. And the fact that Fracture died a little bit late is just going to push that time back even farther. This is probably going to be the last push for them in Hollywood. But this fight is still going. Dragon coming out and is going straight towards the spawn, taking out Jeff.
30 seconds.
All of Sheridan are holding onto their ultimates. This is going to be a harsh one. They have to be careful. If they use everything, they could lose everything. But if they don't use everything, well, this is the last push. Right, able to take out Lethal Doran as he peeked around the shield. Initially going in with a harsh dive. Barrier going in between to kind of separate the damage of Dignity. Mines put on the point, destroying a good portion of Sheridan Esports. Shinigami, Glitch, and Knight are just, or rather not Knight, but Shinigami just in the sky, dishing out damage. Nobody contesting them from up there. You gotta be careful. The point's still pushing though. We're on overtime. Turrets are going on the point. Shinigami trying his best, but just sees him. He went too low. Shinigami able to get around the corner, but they got to be careful. These guys are seeking. They're like, even though they're like a death ball, they're a partial dive at this point. Lethal number taken out though. That's what they got to be careful for. Keith on the point. That's a huge tank. Jeff is trying to be careful. He doesn't want his support to die. He's getting in front of it. Fracture looking for an area to jump. Dragon on the point. They can't get too far though. Overtime is too far off. Hammond trying to kick them off. Sheridan putting up a good fight. Dignity putting a Diva Bomb on the point, taking out Jeff, but the point still goes on. They're not stopping here, folks. Volkir keeps going on with his skates, and it ends from there. Dignity able to take map 2.
Play of the game.
Let's get you back in the
Surrender to my will.
Yeah, this was the biggest surprise, just being rezzed out of nowhere. It is something big, and it's something that we haven't seen out of Sheridan. So it's interesting to see Dignity employ the same tactics, but add upon them. Dignity moving to their map 2. Sheridan have to choose their next map. We're going on a 1 minute, 30-second break. Don't go too far. Going, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the last match of ECS 2019 All SR Finale, as we see currently Dignity 2-0 with Sheridan Esports. Now we're moving on to Lijiang Tower. This is possibly Sheridan's, of course, last choice. This is game match point. If they lose this map, it's over for them. And of course, well, they're still going to be getting a consolation prize. This is, of course, a fun All SR matchup, but it'd be neat if they can take up a map from Dignity, who are, of course, a higher SR. We'll see.
Ready for battle.
See you in the air.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's see.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
The area.
Teams are pushing forward. We're going to be seeing Sheridan coming in with what we normally see them. A dive, Jeff on the Doomfist, see if he can push anything out. I think we've actually seen what they pull out on Lijiang Tower. Just a huge amount of just high impact damage out of nowhere. As for Dignity, they're just taking full advantage of Shinigami in the sky. Jeff able to take out Express. Damage for damage. Tank for tank. Shinigami has to take out Lethal Dorn. Less damage coming out from Sheridan Esports. Sheridan Esports pushed slightly back, and right now Dignity's got territorial advantage. Hammond being a majority of the enemy team. Dignity, no doubt, going to be capturing that point, but it's looking a little harsh in the front line. Either way, Shinigami is just dumb amount of damage. Nothing to aim at the skies. Jeff trying his best with that shotgun to shoot anything, but without a Zenyatta, that's going to be easy.
Time to raise my ECS.
Dignity holding that front line, that archway. Knight immediately using an EMP, surprising the rest of the team. Immediately Hammond hitting, putting his mine slightly late, not getting a amount of damage, but that just blocked the way. That's pushing percentage for them. That is to their advantage, if you will. Sheridan Esports looking for something. They're still push forward, still holding hard as right now. There's a fair war going from the top. Jeff already on the point. Letter number. Able to take out Shinigami. That's huge damage. Everything is on the ground now. And Diva Bomb going against Sheridan Esports. It's able to get Volcure. Less HP. Letter number. Almost falling to the ground, but he's looking for something. Jeff able to take out the Diva, and it looks like they're getting huge territory here on the point. Halfway through. But Shinigami's going to be contesting it. They got to be careful as they do lose their Zenyatta on point. The point still hasn't been captured, but they're fighting. That was a huge advantage they could have taken, but with Shinigami just immediately going for the point, they did not cap it. They don't gain this advantage. Dignity looking for it. They're going to the front line. EMP, and then Hammond right after. Possibly mines, but nothing. Only the shield. They don't want to waste too much. Mines still not there. Shinigami, you were watching for that fair barrage in the sky. Off the sidelines. Notice, just nautically anyways. The one people coming from the east. Shinigami shooting from the south. It's harsh to look at. Shinigami looking for that perfect fair barrage from the sky. No doubt, as right now Sheridan Esports is contesting the point to the best of their ability, with the monkey trying to push them completely off. And then denying the area, but Transcendence to fight against it. Just heal his team for it. Rez allowed. Doomfist going downward. Knight looking for anything that he can hack. He decides to hack the Doomfist. He doesn't like that power that's going out, and Dignity piling it in the damage, not only with the mines that got reactivated, but as well as the barrage. Diva Bomb going on the point, overtime going down, and that's going to be a team kill. First phase goes to Dignity.
Justice reigns from above.
Game.
Score 0-1.
This is definitely game, set, match. This might be the last map. All Dignity has to do is win this match, and they win the All-SR final. But will Sheridan be able to, I suppose, get the up? We don't know. We'll see. It's harsh. But they might be able to pull off something. The close-range combat here works a lot to Farrah's favor. So Shinigami might have a good time, but Letter Number has had good pot shots off of Shinigami. So if they get that, they might do better.
Capture the objective.
Shinigami starting strong, but shots are already coming his way. He's not really aiming for the enemy Farrah. He's aiming for the enemy team. Glitch taking out Letter Number and Lethal Doran immediately. Ugh. It's a surprise. They're looking at the skies. They're not looking at the ground. And Glitch takes advantage of that. But they're not going to, I imagine, they're not going to make that mistake twice. But Dignity gets a territory advantage at first. And no doubt, the first part of, the beginning of the point.
Form up on me.
I'm playing the game ready for it. Jeff switching, I believe it was actually a switch from Doomfist to Ashe to have that hit scan, but the hit scan's going to have a hard time. They need space, and Shinigami's in that front line. They're getting fought from the side. Their team, Dignity's team, is pushed up all the way to the front. Even their supports are more forward than their tanks, and they're doing lots of damage. Zenyatta is not something to not fear against, if you will. Knight able to take out Jeff, and just slowly the team staggers. They got to be careful here. They're pushing up, finally getting their team together to a 6, but they're all aggressing in different areas. Shinigami looking for that high vertical area, making sure that they're contested so they can't look at Glitch. Knight able to EMP everyone on the inside. All Glitch has to do is literally wait. Why would you aim at a Widowmaker when you've got 5 people shooting at you?
Just what I need.
Jeff looking for something, anything. His punch currently on cooldown. He's looking to hit that Sombra in any way possible. Right now they've got a Hammond in the background and also a Mercy on the ground, but they go for the tank instead. Then the Zenyatta, they hit the Zenyatta, but Shinigami's barraging from the back. They're able to take out Shinigami. And they've got a nice place to move forward, but they've got a Hammond in their way. And respawns are just going to make them equivalent, 80%, and it's not looking well. Glitch from the backline, and letter number is able to take him out. The point slowly going in their favor, but it looks like Dignity wants to contest. The point does switch, though, giving them 10 seconds of just of sanctuary, if you will. Dignity uses their Transcendence to keep their team alive. Shinigami able to take out the DPS. Sheridan has to be careful here. Sheridan losing their tank, losing their Genji. The point slightly switching. Mercy trying to keep that point going. Transcendence on the point to keep both supports alive. Doomfist trying to kill anyone with his ultimate. And the kills begin to slowly go in Sheridan. Sheridan just able to just keep those kills going, keep that contention on the point. They're able to take out their Zenyatta. Mines on the point. They gotta be careful there. Even with the shield, they could be completely denied. Letter number bringing in the Genji Blade, trying to get anything, but that Hammond is so swift and actually pushes him off the point. Sheridan using a whole hog, but they're about to lose the point. Luckily, they're able to get on. Shinigami not able to get any sight on that hog. It's only a hog, though. Hacked upon, but just the contention just keeps going through. Lethal Door going through. That's 10 seconds. Yeah, 8 seconds until all SR finals are over, but they're not going to let it be. Letter number on the point. Now Dignity has to go back, but Shinigami takes him out. 99, and overtime actually ticks. It was enough. Fracture gets on point. He's going to keep the contestation going, but Dignity's looking for it. They're not letting this happen again, and the all SR final goes to Dignity. Complete congratulations to Dignity. It was a harsh match, and Sheridan honestly put up a good fight for a low SR. We saw just those different tactics go again, just those fundamentals that have been practiced upon, not only over competitive, but I don't doubt in tournament play as well. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for this. Congratulations to Dignity, and also congratulations to Sheridan. They won their respective brackets, but now Dignity gets a nice $40 prize pool. Sheridan gets a nice $20 prize pool. And if you guys want to see more of this, maybe later in the coming months, eSportNet constantly puts a lot of these types of tournaments through, not only for Overwatch but for several other games. Definitely check us out, not only on our Discord but as well as the Twitch in which we stream upon. Again, thank you so much for joining us. If you have a team that you want to join along, look out at eSportNet and see what kind of games we're putting through. Either way, I'm JJSkywalker. The illustrious Pascal has been streaming for you guys in HD and camera. Definitely give him a shout out, and I'll see you all later.